and you interview me. You know what I mean? Because this is literally like 4 or 5 times that we have spoken to each other. I just don't want you getting tired of me.
Actually, would you rather
Okay.
get attacked by 100 chicken-sized horses or 1 horse-sized chicken?
Oh, man, I think all the little...
So you have a kid that just went off to college, and now that car that you had in the driveway for your other kid to drive is no longer there, and you need something to help out your family. Well, First Community has everything you need right there. They have incredible loans, and in fact, First Community's auto loan rates are the same, whether if you're buying new or used. So this is a great way to get your kids the right kind of car, and plus, what I love about this is that most places, they charge a higher rate for used autos, but not First Community. And there's even more great news is that auto loan rates just went down over at First Community. So if you qualify, you get a 60-month rate for under 6%. And I promise that's a great rate, but do your homework and compare the rates yourself. And you will see First Community is always competitive with great rates and 90 days before you have to make your first payment, which is awesome and very helpful. So get your kids back in school the right way. Head over to First Community, get them a car, and save yourself a ton of money. Put your dollars to work. Go to First Community. That's firstcommunity.com.
Well, gentlemen, we will see you in St. Louis on Sunday. We are so excited to have Point Fest back and to have you guys be a part of it. But I want to kind of talk about this from a couple of different angles, all right? First and foremost, the crew that you have working with you in the Seether camp, I'm sure is scaled down because of, the craziness that is the pandemic. But can you talk about like sort of what the crew is doing now, added responsibility that they weren't doing before to keep you guys safe for all these shows, just so you can play them?
Go ahead, Johnny.
Actually, for us, our little world, obviously, venues will have different rules, mask mandates backstage. Our crew, we still have a full crew. We have our regular setup, our techs and front of house. So it's such a healthy thing and a great thing to be playing shows again, man. This time last year, we never, we didn't know what was going to happen. And here we are doing shows again. And the first one was almost like a spiritual experience. It was a show in Ohio. And it was just so great to be on stage, playing music, being a band and doing what we do, man. I missed it so much. So yeah, it's a great thing.
I've talked to a couple of folks, like myself, that are in the industry, and we're very lucky to be able to go to a lot of shows, but sometimes, unfortunately, in the job, sometimes there's burnout that creeps in, even for going to concerts. And I guess it was a couple of months into the pandemic, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this without more live music, because it had been the longest that I'd been since I was like 15, since I had been to a show. And when I finally got back to a show, oh God, that, like just everything about it. I had a beer in the hand.
Plumbing, heating, cooling, and energy experts. I love them. They've done they've made a world of difference in our lives and in our home, because they specialize in total indoor comfort, and they've done that for my family with all sorts of things. Now, I want you to go to antonshvac.com, ANTONSHVAC.com, to look at all that they can do for your home right now, even the financing options. They have incredible deals. But beyond that, Anton's Heroes Golf 24, the number 24.com. That's the website for Anton's Heroes Golf Tournament. It's coming up again September 14th. We're just a few weeks out. It's happening over at Forest Park. This is a big deal, and it's their Heroes Golf Tournament. It helps them with their Heroes program. That is their incredible program for veterans and first responders. They're just amazing to our vets and our first responders over at Anton's. Huge supporters, and if you want to give back and give into this tournament, they're looking for some foursomes. Also, you can support them with a donation there. You can register on the website, become a sponsor. Just an incredible, incredible event, so don't miss the opportunity. I have a few friends that are going to try to be a part of this as well, because they're like, you know what? We got summer golfed out earlier in the summer, but it's time to get back to it, and September 14th is a perfect date to do so. Anton's Heroes Golf Tournament coming up September 14th. Check it out at antonsheroesgolf24.com.
All right, backstage at our big, gigantic ho-ho show with Angels and Airwaves. Mr. Tom DeLonge, how are you, man? It's great to see you.
I am good, and I just realized you have a kick-ass camera right there. This is like IMAX level shit you're doing.
We try not to mess around, Tom.
You don't fuck around. This is like real interview. This is like...
The bad part is, though, with that fancy camera, it really pinpoints the ugliness.
Boogers and like...
I mean, anything, man. Like crazy hairs, anything. It really blows it out of proportion.
You know what's funny about that? I was just walking down the stairs, and Alon, my drummer, goes, wait a second, I was like, one hair was longer, and he went up to my face, and we got it out. One hair, and you just mentioned hairs. Dude, that was kind of funny.
You know what the worst part? I don't know how old you are, Tom, but I think we're probably
22.
Pretty close. All right, well then we're not. I'm 43.
I'm 44.
All right.
You didn't believe me.
Well, no, I didn't.
Okay,
I knew
God.
we were in the ballpark. Yeah,
okay,
no. What bothers me about getting older is how rapidly my ear hair grows.
I've noticed every once in a while, like there'll be like a random hair, and you're like, "What the fuck? Where did that shit come from?"
I just trimmed this yesterday, and now I can't hear because there's so much stuff going on.
Women think they have it bad because of like childbirth, but no, men have it really, really bad. Things like that.
Yeah. I don't know that that's the road we go down.
Yeah, no. Right now, there's women over there going, "We will kill you."
Right now. While you sleep. Real quickly, because I know we don't have a ton of time. Tom, when you first, way back in the day, when you first started talking about like the alien stuff, the UFO things, I thought, it's very good, and I'm going to be very honest with you, it's good everybody has a hobby. You know what I'm saying? But I did not necessarily firmly line up with you on a lot of those things.
Sure. Yeah.
Over the years, you have been proven incredibly right about a lot of things, and there's got to be a lot of people like me, and you have to know that. Is there any sense of like sort of vindication in that?
In all seriousness, vindication's not the word I would use. I've been briefed on things that are really scary, unnerving, and frankly, like, really hard to digest. And I knew that I would take all the arrows and bullets for a few years until all the guys I was working with from these various places, like the Department of Defense and the Central Intelligence Agency and so on, I knew that until they could come forward, I would be...
Surgery is all about getting you confident again. There's no stigma attached to plastic surgery anymore. That's a thing to the past. 40 years ago, you found out somebody had plastic surgery. Ooh, it was a scandal. Ooh, Miss Jones up the street had some work done. But it's not that way anymore. Natural-looking results, self-esteem, confidence, good for your mental health, good for your overall health. Parkrest Plastic Surgery, you got the best in the business here, right down the street on New Balance and Creve Coeur. Dr. McGuire, Dr. Kaplan have both treated patients from all over the world. Both have helped lead vital clinical research that led to major changes in their industry. People travel from all over the world to come here and see Dr. McGuire and Dr. Kaplan at Parkrest Plastic Surgery. If you're looking for the mommy makeover, if you're looking for, laser hair removal or, hydrofacials to permanent makeup, if you're looking to get rid of that fat in hard-to-target areas, at Parkrest, they offer everything from injectable lipodissolve or smart lipo or cool sculpting, even your traditional lipo. Make an appointment. ParkrestPlasticSurgery.com is the website, ParkrestPlasticSurgery.com.
We are backstage at Point Fest, and we have the absolute pleasure for the first time of speaking to Ash from New Year's Day. Welcome, and it's great to have you at Point Fest.
We're so honored to be at Point Fest today. It was so much fun.
You had that crowd going. You know what I mean? How do you handle the challenge when you are coming into a situation where there's...
So over the past, year or so, we've been trying to check things off our bucket lists. Like, Lern got to break stuff with a baseball bat, like a rage room thing.
Oh yeah.
You also got to jump out of a cake.
I did for your birthday.
I got to spray champagne on people.
You did. You have multiple offers to go and give an impromptu toast at weddings,
which I will be doing.
We will capitalize on.
Moon got to host Jeopardy. You got to have a beard and a ponytail.
Yes, I did.
Moon, you got to ride the. You got to drive the train at Grant's Farm. I mean, that's still on the table.
Right. Yep. Yep, and they've offered. We just got to get down there.
Got to get down there.
Was yours to put a world record? Was that one of your bucket list items?
Yeah. World record.
Yeah, we've all
Scott
kind of
set a
crossed
world
it.
record.
I accomplished it for a couple months.
Yeah, Scott was a world record holder.
Yeah.
Then
Like as
quickly went out
even
of my head.
sanctioned by Guinness.
I know. So that chick they wrote me bounced because that new winner took it. So
Dang
Yeah,
it.
Scott was part of the crew. Most people with underwear on their head
At City Museum.
at City Museum.
I'm going to take it off now. It's time.
So, Rafe, you got a bucket list item that's about to be checked off, and if you want to give the details and how people can get involved.
Yes, I'm super excited about this. So I had mentioned before, some of you, if you've watched my comedy, you know that I was once, I went on a bachelor party. We were supposed to jump out of a plane, and I was too heavy. And I found out that I was too fat to fall from the sky. That was a hurtful thing to find out about yourself. And that wrong will be righted because there's an event on September 14th. Skydive St. Louis reached out. It's called the Bucket List Boogie on September 14th at the Sullivan Airport from 7:30 to sunset. You can make a reservation for a spot to skydive. They're going to bit my big ass up and out of a plane, and I am excited about it.
So on September 14th, Rafe Williams will be
That's right.
falling from a plane.
That is correct, and you can be part of it. You can either come out and just hang out at the event, or you can go to their website and sign up, and one listener will actually get a free jump and can jump with me
Whoa,
if you're
that's cool.
interested.
That's cool.
So, to do that, you got to go to Skydive. We'll put up the link, but it's skydivingstl.com. There is a prompt for it. As soon as you go onto their website, it says be part of the bucket list boogie. You fill out the registration form through them, and they will choose the winner. I think they're going to take applications for the next couple of weeks up until the event, to a few days before the event. Then they'll let you know. Or if you really want to come be part of it, it's pretty affordable. You can just be part of the jump.
Yeah, so it's right, skydivingstl.com. It's right on the homepage. The
You got
bucket list boogie is coming. Learn more. Just click on that, and they'll get you all.
Yeah. And it's going to be an event, man. They've got the Point Van's going to go down live on site doing free concert ticket giveaways. Miss Betty's Smash Burgers food truck is going to be there to feed everybody. You get first 40 people who jump or sign up get a free T-shirt also that they jump. The
Yeah, I'm
Bucket
going to do
List
my best
Boogie
to get out
T-shirt.
there for it.
Yeah, I want to be there too.
Come on out. Everybody's welcome. Let's all go.
I'm not going to jump.
I've jumped
already
out of
did
a
it.
plane. Yeah. Why did you jump out of a plane? Because I had a weird reason.
Why did I jump?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be called a puss, and I was offered the chance to jump with the paracommandos, and I did it.
Damn.
Right on.
That's
Did I want to do it? Not really. Am I glad I did it? Okay. Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
And don't need to do it again.
I was always very curious about what it sounded like up there. Like how
It's
quiet.
very peaceful.
It's so
Yeah,
peaceful.
what do clouds sound like?
That's what I wanted to know. I'm like, you're away from the world, you know, so many thousands of feet up, and you're descending. I wanted to know, like, does your belly flip?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. So, and as you jump out of the plane, you go into overload, where your body's like, oh my God. So you don't really remember. Like, I didn't have it videotaped, unfortunately. I didn't want to pay the money to do that. But I jumped, went into overload, forgot to put my goggles on, and the guy that was on my back, like, slammed my goggles on my eyeballs. And then once he hit the parachute, it was so cool. It was so quiet and peaceful and beautiful. And I loved as you just start descending back down to the earth, and they're like, put your legs up because you slide back in on your butt. It's so much fun.
Be careful.
Do it again.
Yeah.
It can be addictive. I had a buddy that just
Are you
did
going to do it again?
No, I'm not going to do it this time. No. But one day I will again.
I had a buddy that did it just kind of like, it seems like it might be fun. And that dude turned into a professional wing glider.
Yeah, dude.
Because he was like, that
would
was the
love
most,
to do that.
He was like, it became the most
Let's
addictive
do
thing.
this
That'd
first.
be cool.
Put me in one of them squirrel suits, dude.
Yeah, that's what he
Yeah,
did.
man.
He's,
Slice through the
jumping?
little canyons.
Right,
on-
the lightning.
he's on like a sponsored team. Like
That's
he does
so
it for a
cool.
living.
Which I
now.
agree with you. I did static line jumps in the military, but that's when you jump out and it immediately pulls it for
Right.
you. So you're like, you don't really free fall. You kind of, your chute opens as soon as you leave the plane. And it is very peaceful. The military was like a little bothersome because some of those silk chutes had big holes in them. But
Oh. Oh, no.
it's okay. They're fine. But I'm excited, man, because I missed an opportunity a long time ago. They worked with me. They've assured me. I think the weight requirement's like 285.
And you are good to go, baby.
I'm good to go, baby. I'm well under.
Excellent.
And They're hooking up the big lads. If you want to jump out of a plane and you're a plus-size male model like myself, hey, if you're under 285 or close,
you got some time to
sign
lose
up.
a couple LBs.
Yeah, I'll give you got a couple weeks to fast. Drop a couple.
People are asking, are you going solo or Baby Bjorn?
I got to go Baby Bjorn because I asked for solo, and they've said
you can't go solo by yourself.
No, you got to put hours in.
It's a bunch of hours, and
you got to be certified.
Got to get certified. This is a thing where you can come. Let's see what they said here. It doesn't take long. 7:30 to sunset. Reservation. Reserve your spot. Tandem jumps are $269. Accommodate licensed jumpers at $31 a jump. So if you're licensed, it doesn't cost much at all. Free shirts for the first 40 people in the drop zone. You don't have to know anything about skydiving to participate. It's tandem skydiving with instructors. Whole process is about an hour. 15 minutes of paperwork and training. Gear up. 20-minute plane ride, and you're in the air, baby.
Yep.
And they offer picture and video media packages of each jump, and you can decide on that on arrival. So come out. If you just want to come hang out and be part of it, man, when I hit the ground, ask first.
Do they have a booth in the middle of the field where you land, like Six Flags?
I hope so, man. That's what I go, dude.
It's got all the screens, and you're like, oh, there I am.
That's the thing I want is, like, can we do the whole, like, just give me, like, a baby pool, like something I got to try to aim for?
A little bucket?
So Skydive.
Great idea.
SkyDivingSTL.com, and a big thanks to Skydive STL for
making dreams
letting
come
us
true.
do this and helping Rafe cross off a thing on his bucket list. St. Louis's closest skydiving center. So it's out there in Sullivan. So that'll be fun. So the 14th of September, so just a couple weeks away, 2 weeks away.
Got it.
And what time are you doing your jump?
I don't know what time. We haven't talked
noon.
about it yet. Do what?
I think around noon.
Okay. And then noon it is. I hadn't even talked to them about that yet. But yeah, that sounds great. Noon seems like a good time to jump.
Right.
Sun is high in the
noon.
Sky. High noon, baby.
High noon, jumping out of a plane.
That's the coolest part of arriving, as people have already been jumping all morning. All people are just descending
Stoked.
down to earth. Like you just walk up to the place and there's people falling.
Yeah, there is a euphoria. Like after you've landed, it is an adrenaline rush.
Oh, I'm sure.
I've demanded one member of the video department go with. None of them want to. Someone is gonna. We'll find out who. They're gonna draw straws. They have their own video, and I go, I know, but I want my own. You guys are going. One of the guys in the video department is going to be thrust from a plane against his will.
They're gonna draw the short straw.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It's so much fun.
I don't know if it's in the Hubbard Radio handbook. Like, if you choose not to skydive, you don't have to.
Well, this is an independent event.
All right. SkyDivingSTL.com, and you could jump out of a plane with Rafe Williams. All right. Rafe, are you ready?
Oh, yeah. I forgot we were doing this.
Oh,
Let's do it. I got so excited about the skydive. Now it's time to put a damper on things.
Time for this week's In Memoriam.
For those of you that don't know the In Memoriam, you know what it is by now. It's us saying goodbye to people we offended or topics that we broached that made people angry or just our wonderful, unhinged 1% of our listeners that send bonkers messages to us either online or in the comments section. So let's get started. First up this week, we have to say goodbye to adult milk drinkers. I missed a conversation last Friday that bothered so many people that they were still emailing us up to yesterday about this topic that is literally crying over spilled milk. There are an alarming amount of listeners that are still sucking on mama's teat juice more than Homelander from The Boys, and they just can't wait to tell us what a good source of calcium it is for their fully formed adult bones. Now, we're not picking on folks who have a little milk with their breakfast donuts or a PB&J, okay? We understand that. It's still a cool thing. We're talking about sociopaths ordering milk with the bone-in ribeye at the restaurant.
Yes.
And knocking back a few cold glasses of frothy skim at O.B. Clark's before they hit on the bartender. You're a psycho. And newsflash, you're all weird as hell. One guy even bragged through an email that he drinks a gallon of whole milk on a river tube trip. Well, congrats, pal. You're officially the nastiest thing in the whoozah. And that river's chock full of used condoms, suspended driver's license, and gas station cowboy hats of all the redneck degenerates having their meth-fueled swamp orgies on the 97.3 The Bull float trips.
That's true.
Got milk? Here's a better question. Got bye-bye? You gone.
Damn.
While we're talking about orgies, Our preconceived notions about Orgy Dome have to go this week, too.
Oh.
We learned a lesson on the show. Yes. Orgy Dome. We have besmirched your name in the past. And despite our past jokes, we found out this week that the Orgy Dome may very well be the cleanest part of the Burning Man Festival. Turns out it's a well-kept carnival tent of carnal desire that is a great introductory intercourse course. We found out through Rizz's research that it's a well-policed, highly informative tent, and it's a great place for you and your partner to hang a ride at the fork in the orgy and be provided a safe, contact-free space to find out if you like taking one another to Pound Town while a bunch of hot people in 17th century bubonic plague Dr. Masquerade masks peer at you through steampunk goggles and give the thumbs up from a reasonable distance. And if that feels like a big green light, you can mosey on over to the left side of the tent where the rules get a little looser. Now, on that side of the room, you may get a tap on the shoulder by another man schwanz asking, mind if I cut in? Either way, we were wrong. We were wrong by not thinking this was a safe space, and now we know that our Orgy Dome prejudices have to go. Bye-bye. Congratulations, Orgy Dome. Yeah. You're back. And while we're talking about intimacy, another thing we had to say goodbye to this week was our beloved Moon's misunderstanding of the beast with two backs. Our sweet, sweet boy and cute little baby co-resident grandpa made it 43 years on this earth not knowing that the beast with two backs was not a Dr. Seuss character, but in fact a disgusting euphemism for the writhing, sweaty, coiled coupling and copulation of two consenting adults.
So you lost your last bit of innocence.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what.
I'm just glad I'm not the only one on this show that doesn't understand the terms, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I'd never heard the term.
The beast with two backs.
Well, we have to say goodbye to your childlike sense of wonder, so.
Yep, it's over now.
All right.
Bye-bye. And speaking of groups of two, double baggers next on the list. I can't believe we had to tell people this, but we had real emailers saying they just learned that wearing more than one condom at a time was a bad idea. It's not double protection, but it does create friction and heat like a spaceship re-entering the Earth's atmosphere, so don't do that to your little Apollo 5s or 6s or 4s on a cold day. I assume if you're wearing two condoms, it's like wearing two pairs of sweatpants to the gym. You're just trying to hide an abnormally set of skinny legs. And to the one guy who emailed us because he thought double bagging was banging someone so ugly that you had to put a bag over their head and the dog's head so the dog would still respect you in the morning, we don't know how to help you either. Bye-bye.
So many terms.
While we're talking about bags, let's talk about a douchebag. The douchebag of the week, Officer Mean Gene of the Fashion Police Denim Division. A commenter on a post chastised Lern this week, quote, for always wearing the same jeans. What the freak, man? You're always wearing the same jeans, woman. What's your deal, man? Do you work for Big Denim? Need to make sure new denim sales are booming by jean-shaming people online? Are you defending the hard-working farmers who run the denim plantations and supporting all the migrant workers toiling in the jean fields of the American heartland? Because here's the thing. That's the best-case scenario, bruh. Because if you aren't in bed with Big Denim, then you're just kind of giving a stalker vibe, considering that I've worn the same goddamn outfit every day since 2015, and the other three fellas on this show rotate 7 shirts and 5 pairs of pants between them. And that don't seem to ruffle your fashion feathers whatsoever. So that leads us to believe that your comment was less motivated by Lern getting in her jeans and more motivated by the fact that nobody's trying to get into yours. Bye-bye.
Bye. By the way, I have those jeans on again today.
I know. I was so happy you wore them, and I didn't even tell you to.
And I wrote an email.
She's literally wearing them right now. I couldn't have asked for more. But while we're talking about fashion, we also have to say goodbye to bow tie boys. Now, it's widely known throughout the show that Rizz hates bow ties, and we agreed that National Bow Tie Day, that other than tuxedos, bow ties are played out. They're a relic of a time that you can no longer defend. You look like a dorky time traveler, all right? You might as well show up to a party in a horse-drawn carriage wearing a powdered wig and a cape. Good day, sir. We said good day. Bye-bye. And while we're on the subject of Rizz, he is our final In Memoriam today.
Oh, what did I do?
I hate to break this to you, bud, but Scott Rizzuto has a soaking problem.
Oh, yes.
We found out through different conversations this week that our beloved Scott Daniel is at home soaking everything from his ears to his ass to his beans. And he's causing all kinds. Yeah.
Man can't soak his beans.
You're an elitist bean soaker, man.
It's weird,
What the
dude.
hell's wrong with
A
you?
man can't soak his beans.
It's
and
weird,
not
man.
Flack over it.
This is an intervention
It's weird.
because you're causing all kinds of damage.
Oh, I'm a bean soaker.
Oh, shoot.
You're unapologetic bean soaking.
And I'm going to keep
Smoking and
smoking
soaking.
and soaking.
Damn.
Listen, you gave yourself an ear infection by spraying your eardrums with an ear bidet you drunkenly purchased on Amazon. You're going willy-nilly, man. And you soak your beans overnight, and that's the last straw.
We've had enough.
Okay? You got to stop soaking stuff more than a horny Mormon teenager, Rizz. Bye-bye. And finally, the real RIPs of the week, and I may have missed one. I know the big one was Ted Drews. He finally passed away at 96 years of age. This custard magnate, this king of the mix-ins. It really is good guys and gals. Now, Ted Drews has moved on to the afterlife to serve custard in heaven. And we say goodbye to Ted Drews. And if I missed anyone, please let me know.
All right, thank you.
But that concludes this week's In Memoriam.
Thank you, Rafe Williams, everybody.
Thank you. Okay. The cello is too much.
All right. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with this week's Friday Fail Stories. 8:20 Friday, traffic and weather. Moon coming at you.
Traffic is brought to you by Worldwide Technology Raceway. Experience the thrill of nitro-fueled racing at the NHRA Midwest Nationals. Come see your favorite drag racers at WWT Raceway from September 27th to the 29th. The highways are clear. Your point forecast dry and muggy. Late showers are possible. High of 95. Right now it's 80 at the Point Studio.
Ever found yourself in the middle of your daily deuce and thought, I wish this was funnier?
Today it's 8:21 in the morning. I care about how you feel. I do. That's why I promote Victory Men's Health. Because of all the dudes in my life that I know, you haven't gone to the doctor in a while. Maybe you haven't gotten a physical. Maybe you just you don't have a physical physician. Maybe you're just like our general physician. You have no idea where to go. Victory Men's Health might be the solution for you, okay? They will take a blood sample when you go there for the first time. They'll set up a profile for you. They'll talk to you about your goals and what you have in mind, whether that's something like, getting your vitamins and minerals all back in line. Or maybe there's something hormonally that you're noticing. Maybe there's physical things about your body that you're uncomfortable with and you just want some help. Victory Men's Health can help you. And I don't know everything about this yet, but I just got an email from our friend Angela over at Victory Men's Health that they are offering now or getting ready to offer cardiovascular testing as well. Heart disease is such a #1 killer for Americans. And this is so incredible that Victory Men's Health is going to be offering this for you. So there's never been a better time to sign up and get curious about Victory Men's Health, whether it's vitamins, minerals, hormones, sex health, losing weight, putting on weight, whatever questions you got about manhood, they can help you. VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
So way back Point Fest, we are backstage with the Urge, and we just learned a very valuable lesson. That when the microphone says mute, that means that they can't hear Steve.
It's muted. That is not working.
That is not working.
That ain't happening.
Boy, oh boy. So we found out so far that I'm sweaty. The microphones don't work. We are off to a bang upstart here, gentlemen. A bang upstart.
Get that out of the way now.
Well, I very much appreciate you guys chatting, and Bill, especially you, man. You're. What did you do to the back?
Oh, Doc says I have a herniated disc. I don't know. That's
Big deal.
Oh yeah.
Not their play.
It's gonna be. I don't. Do you remember?
Drink his way
Yeah. Do you remember
triple
16
Lindy's and
Candles?
stuff.
Yes.
Like Joan Cusack in 16 Candles. This is gonna be kind of my stage move today.
Nice.
The doctor told him book some more Urge shows, and then then we'll look at it.
It might be a slightly less energetic than usual. But
You know,
I don't
one
believe
thing
it.
that I've been paying attention to that's not necessarily Urge related, your photography that you have been taking on IG is really something else, man. If you don't follow Bill, you really should, man.
Oh, nice.
Well, because you guys were just in San Francisco and you
Yeah.
took some beautiful shots.
we got to go tour a winery and everything was fun. Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
very good.
That's
No,
awesome.
no, it's all good.
appreciate
I think that's one of the fascinating things about you guys is you're all very different individuals. And so when I hear from various members from time to time that sometimes it takes a little while for Urge business to get done, I'm not surprised by this.
That's a nice way of putting it.
I think so. But that's
Gently phrased.
but that's an all right thing, and that's probably a very healthy thing for where you guys are right now. You know what I'm
like
saying?
each other personally. It makes it hard.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't look like you like each other at all.
We had to figure out who's going to sit next to who. Yeah.
Well, here's what I would like, and I'm very demanding. But how does it feel is really great. It's getting such a great reaction, and we talked about that when you guys were in last week. Thank you, Ben. We want more. We want more. We want more soon. We want more like that.
I know.
Bet.
This is my serious journalistic face. What do we got to do to make this happen,
We
gentlemen?
got a bunch of jams.
Yeah?
We got
a bunch.
Do I
have
need to
some-
go to
we
work
do
for you
have a lot
guys?
of music,
Me.
yeah.
And we have some covers as well. We could probably finish up. We have a couple covers we did which were fun, but we got 4 or 5 other original tunes that are pretty much done.
Well, the Feel Good Inc. cover, I thought that had been rumored to be something that you guys might release for a while.
We recorded it.
Yeah.
And,
It's
we
in
may
the
release
can.
it eventually.
It's
Okay.
awesome.
Might remix it and try to release it.
And what a great
Matthias,
cover for you guys to do.
It's a cool song.
Yeah, I mean,
awesome.
a very cool song. I'm actually getting to see those guys for the first time in a few weeks.
Matthias.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, Matthias and Gadase kicked some ass on that.
Oh, yeah.
track. Yeah. So it's
who are you talking about?
I'm going to see the Gorillas
Oh,
in a
the
few
Gorillas,
weeks.
right,
Yeah.
Where
are you going, Donnie?
I'm going to ACL to see them in Texas. The same
Oh,
week
nice.
I'm going to see those guys, Jay-Z, and Run the Jewels twice.
A couple weeks. We're
Hello, and barbecue on top of that.
Yes.
So the feedback on the song has been great so far, and people are really loving it. Playing it for the first time today. I know you guys are very particular and you're perfectionists. So have you practiced it 1,000 times? You're like ready. Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll say that it's.
Please let me in on the sarcasm, please.
It's way better now than it was.
About how Dr. Foley and everybody over Foley Dental Group, they're amazing. And when it comes to dental technology, they're always at the cutting edge. And their biggest and newest technology at Foley Dental is the Soleil laser. Now, this is a game changer if you've got dental anxiety and you're afraid of, I got to get a cavity filled and a drill, and I'm not going to go. Also, for the kids, this is a big deal. The Soleil laser is a dental laser that replaces the dental drill for certain procedures in the office. I had it done a couple weeks ago. I had a filling fall out, and then Dr. Foley's like, hey, while we're doing that, let's get rid of your last silver filling. So they used the laser instead of the drill. It was fast, it was gentle, it was precise. I didn't have the Novocaine needle, nothing. Almost everybody's able to skip the anesthesia because you're not going to need it. And the main thing people are reporting, and I can attest to this, you feel some cold but not pain. The appointment, it's fast, virtually no bleeding, and enjoy not being numb for 3 to 4 hours after the appointment. And the big bonus is not having to numb the kids. They're able to get the kids in and out with no anesthesia or nitrous. It's the Soleil laser, now available at Foley Dental Group. FoleyDentalGroup.com, FoleyDentalGroup.com.
Joined in the point studio now by the mastermind behind Ghost, Tobias Forge. How are you, man?
I'm good, thank you. How do you do?
I'm doing really well. It's an absolute great pleasure to have you here, and the absolute ferocious fan base of Ghost has me completely petrified that I'm going to screw this interview up because they
Then don't.
Right. Well, that's the idea. But it's one of those really great things in getting to talk about Ghost right now because you can just feel all the excitement and everything kind of not starting to come together, but just continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger. That has got to be an amazing thing for you to see on your side of things.
Of course it is. I mean, I've done many records in my life that had did cause nothing. You
Right.
know,
All right, folks, time for your final story. Yeah. So all these people thought they had the perfect plan, but somewhere along the line, that perfect plan went completely sideways. Oops. And it became an Uber, an ultra, dare I say it,
Don't
Yes.
mega.
Fail.
All right.
Very nice.
You sounded great, boss.
All right, Find a Fail story sponsored by
Moritz Royce Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Rizzuto Show.
Lern. I don't want to have you blow out your voice before tomorrow night's
Very good point, Rizz. Thank you.
Big Lay Narrow show over at Sky Music Lounge in Ballwin.
It's going to be lit.
All right, so we'll start with the story. Farmers Insurance has a series of ads about the wildest claims they've ever covered. I don't know if you've seen the commercials, but whoever writes those might want to grab a pen. A crew in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia specifically, was hard at work. It was a couple mornings ago, pulling an SUV out of the Schuylkill River. How to get in there? Well, police say two people were at a park early in the morning, getting it on in the back seat of their 2020 Super Sweet Range Rover.
All right.
The woman accidentally hit or kicked the gear shift. The SUV rolled right into the water.
Oh, no.
Luckily, they made it out. They weren't hurt. It's not clear what level of undress they were at the time. A dive crew had to be called in, and a tow company helped pull the SUV out. Ended up submerged in 9 feet of water, about 50 feet offshore.
Failed.
Dangerous to get it on the back of a car. Mm-hmm. I don't know how that happened, but somehow wound up in gear. Remember we had the story earlier about the woman who was dead at her desk for
Yes.
4 days?
How could we forget?
Tell me everybody hates you at work without telling me they hate you. 15 coworkers scaled a mountain in Colorado last Friday. It's part of a team building exercise, apparently. And one guy got left behind.
Dude, I read this article. It's nuts.
Mount Shavano is about 100 miles southwest of Denver. The summit is over 14,000 feet.
Dang.
But not everyone did the whole thing. A couple people hung back, so there were 2 groups, except for one guy who ended up doing the last leg by himself. He made it to the top fine, but got lost on his way down after everyone left and took all their gear with them.
Man,
They'd left stuff along the path to guide them back like a trail of breadcrumbs, but they took it all when they
took
left.
it all. They didn't even leave like small pieces.
Nothing for the guy.
Oh my gosh! What a team building exercise. First of all, what kind of company does that?
Right.
Every once in a while, we bowl together. or
That's so
something.
Denver, right? It's a very Denver, Colorado thing. So he made it to the top around 11:30 in the morning, then got turned around. So he dropped the pen, texted it to his coworkers, and told them he was going the wrong way. He sent another pin drop at 3:50 in the afternoon, then got turned around. So he dropped the pin. I'm sorry. And he was going the right way at that point. But then a big storm hit with high winds and freezing rain. He got disoriented in the storm, which also cut off his cell service. But his coworkers either didn't know or didn't care, and no one told search and rescue until 9 o'clock that night.
Wow.
They would have tried to use drones to find him, but they couldn't make it that far up the mountain in bad weather. Plus, he was in all-black clothing, which would have been impossible to spot. Luckily, he's all right. He got cell service back around 10 the next morning. Then he wound up calling 911. By the time they found him, he'd been on the mountain for over 24 hours, couldn't walk. He told him he'd fallen at least 20 times. They stretchered him out, got him to the hospital. They say he's lucky his phone didn't die or they would have never found him.
Yep.
Search and Rescue said the story highlights some important lessons. First off, remember that cell service can be spotty. Don't hike in all black. If you get turned around, it's usually best to stay put and never leave somebody behind.
Right.
They added that the unfortunate event might cause some awkward encounters at the office in the next coming days and weeks.
Failed.
The fact that they left anybody behind, like in a solo. You know, somebody volunteers and said, okay, you know, I'll go with you. Buddy system, dude.
How about a head count before?
Yeah, it's the buddy system.
How about a head count when we get all down
That'd be
the mountain?
nice.
Crazy.
A murder suspect's hiding spot fell right underneath him. On Monday, authorities arrested 20-year-old Dario Wilkerson in Memphis. He was wanted in an April murder. U.S. Marshals tracked down Dario's location. While he thought he could hide in the attic, the ceiling gave way, and he came crashing down through the kitchen. Officer said that he was not injured in the fall and was taken into custody with no further incident.
Failed.
A woman visiting the Florida Keys ended up in jail after a drinking spree, a car crash, and a brawl with deputies. Kimberly Marie Robbins, age 47, and her husband Charles, both from Elizabeth City, North Carolina, were in Big Pine Key to meet a potential employer when the trouble began. According to the sheriff's office, Kimberly went to Coconut's Bar and Liquor Store, where she bought a bottle of Crown Royal and drank half of it within 5 minutes.
Oh, my goodness.
Dang.
This sparked a fight between Kimberly and the husband. Charles allegedly hit Kim, trying to escape. Kim got into the truck and crashed it into a building, right into the liquor store around 7:30 in the morning. This is all in the morning, by the way.
Oh, my gosh. Half a bottle of
Half a
in
bottle of
Crown
Crown
in the
Royal.
morning.
Deputies arrived on the scene, found the truck with the airbags deployed and the transmission still on drive. As Kim got out of the car, deputies noticed she was hammered. One deputy reported that during a 20-minute observation, Kim spat on him and then fell out of a chair. Facing felony charges, including battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting arrest with violence, and 2 misdemeanor DUI charges.
Wow.
Failed.
All before lunch.
All before 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's a nice day.
This Friday fail comes to us from Baltimore, where a guy tried to sneak into a prison in the most ridiculous way possible. So 36-year-old James Terrell Hampton-Smith put on a ghillie suit. You know, think the camouflage gear like snipers wear.
Right.
And then he tried to crawl his way into the U.S. penitentiary in Lewisburg.
Was the ghillie suit with like flapping concrete colored?
I don't know.
things?
He was spotted by prison staff around 1:30 in the morning, crawling over a fence with a black duffel bag in tow. Despite his attempt to blend in, ghillie suit didn't quite do the trick. When police arrived, they found his bag was loaded with vape pens. What is spice? Is that like the synthetic?
From Dune?
Synthetic?
I think so.
Synthetic weed?
Is Spice like the nicotine patches?
I think it's the K2 stuff, like
Oh.
the fake sativa stuff.
It's on Arrakis. It's
No,
what
not
enables interstellar travel.
He had 121 unidentified pills, 120 unwrapped vape pens, plus cell phones, cigarettes, chargers, and a cutting tool. The goal, sneak all that stuff into prison for the inmates. But instead, he got busted, and he's facing felony drug possession charges with intent to deliver. I mean, a whole handful of charges.
In this dude's head, he was blending, the movie Sniper with,
Tom Berenger and Billy Zane.
yeah, with Harry Potter. He thought it was an invisibility cloak.
Man.
Like, if I put that on, nobody
Nobody's
can
gonna
see
know.
me. Perfect.
Failed.
Now, we've seen stories before about stupid criminals running stop signs and getting caught with drugs. That exact thing actually just happened in Massachusetts last week, but here's the new and improved version. Guy in North Carolina got busted for drug trafficking after cops pulled him over because he fell asleep behind the wheel of his self-driving car. So somebody called the cops to report a white Tesla heading west on the highway about 30 miles outside of Raleigh. They said the guy behind the wheel looked like he was asleep, and they were right. Cops caught up with him on the highway, confirmed he was sleeping. They blared their siren to get his attention. He didn't wake up. So after about a mile, the guy got in front of him to engage the autopilot sensors and make the car stop. They searched his car, found a ton of vape pens loaded with THC, ecstasy, and meth. 25-year-old Michael Goodwin facing charges for drug trafficking, drug possession, and reckless driving.
Failed.
All right, let's go to Macklin, Saskatchewan. where firefighters accused of setting the very fires he was supposed to be putting out. 25-year-old Logan Sieben, a member of the Macklin Fire Department, has been arrested in connection with a series of hay bale arson attacks that have plagued the area for the past month.
He's just a pyro guy, or is he one of these hero?
I think he's one of these,
guys?
like, I'm not busy, so I want to be busy.
I want to be a hero.
So police got at least 15 reports of hay bale and grass fires since July 31st, with the fires causing significant property loss for local farmers. Fire department and police launched an investigation. They even offered a $21,000 reward for tips leading to whoever's doing this. After weeks of digging through evidence and surveillance footage, if they found out it was one of their own. The fire chief expressed his disappointment in a Facebook post saying, "It is with profound sadness that we report this individual was a member of the fire department. Apologized to the public. Stressed that his actions do not reflect the values of the department." So this Logan guy facing charges of arson causing mischief, arson with intent to defraud, and theft under $5,000.
Wow.
Failed.
I know the gym isn't... well, let's just say this. I know PE. PE in school is not the most academic class you take, right?
Right.
But this is straight up dumb. A high school phys ed teacher got arrested last Monday in Texas after calling the cops to tell them that the hooker he hired stole his money. His name is Rolando Ramos. He's a gym teacher at Figueroa High School in Laredo, Texas, right near the Mexico border. He's also the quarterback's coach for the football team. Police showed up, and that's when he told them he tried to pay a prostitute for sexual services. Said the worker took his $100 and ran away. Sounds like he wanted them to track her down to get his $100 back, but instead he was arrested for soliciting a prostitute.
Kind of embarrassing when the PE coach can't leg down a prostitute on the run.
That's right.
In heels.
Probably got those heels on.
Needs to do some laps.
They eventually did find the prostitute nearby. I don't know if he got his money back or not, but the school he works for said they immediately put him on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation.
Failed.
Personally, I never had a PE coach. Well, no, that's not true. One out of the 5, maybe.
Were actually athletic?
In any sense. I mean, listen, I'm sure they were all star football players in high school. These were big boys. Every one of them, except for one. He was that guy was ripped. He was probably ripped into his 70s. Other than that guy, though, all pot-bellied fellers. They were just kind of there to blow a whistle.
Yeah.
Hang out.
A good wedding photographer knows how to stay out of the way, but still catch the most intimate moments, right? This right here is too intimate. A 30-year-old wedding photographer in Minnesota facing charges for filming the bride naked while she was getting ready in her bridal suite. He had set up a hidden camera that recorded her in her underwear with her top exposed. And police were able to identify the bride, 27 years old, who watched the footage and confirmed, yep, it's me. The wedding was back in 2020 at a venue about 90 miles south of Minneapolis. Police only found out about it because the photographer's wife turned him in.
Dang.
She gave them a thumb drive that had the video plus more sexually explicit material on it. They didn't elaborate on what the other material was, but it sounds like it wasn't an isolated incident. The guy's name is Mitchell Ringness, which is a great last name for a wedding photographer. But
Ringness?
Ringness.
Ring this.
Now it's ringless, yeah.
This guy's wedding website is still up, though. It promises to provide timeless yet captivating photos and videos that will do justice to your uniquely perfect love story. He'll be in court next week to face misdemeanor charges of interfering with privacy. He's looking at a year in jail.
Failed.
And finally, in your Friday Fail stories, you know the bathroom lines at concerts are long, right? We've all been there.
Sure.
Couple too many beers. Got to wait in line at the porta potty.
There's a guy passed out sitting in the urinal.
But you can't do this, though. So a Rhode Island cop got arrested at Gillette Stadium in Massachusetts last Saturday for peeing on a random woman's cowboy boots at a Kenny Chesney concert.
How dare you, sir?
Now, his name is Shane Lynch. He wasn't on duty at the time. He's just a Kenny Chesney fan.
Well.
So they were both standing in the pit by the stage when the woman felt warm liquid hit her leg. Turned around and saw Shane with his zipper down. He had a Bud Light in one hand, his junk in the other.
Double fisting.
Security described him as, quote, extremely intoxicated. He was swaying back and forth. His pants were wet. His eyes were almost closed. And he was crunk.
So he was
feeling the music.
Blacked
Yeah, he was
out.
in it, man.
They pulled him off to the side. Then, while they were talking to him, he started peeing again.
What a
Arrested
nightmare.
for disorderly conduct, but the case was dismissed after he agreed to pay $100 in court costs. The woman he peed on said her $180 boots smelled of urine, no longer wearable. I don't know if I'll have to pay for those too. The chief of police at his department in Cranston, Rhode Island, said an investigation is underway, adding that all officers know they're held to higher standards, even when they're not on duty.
Man.
Well, it is No Shoes Nation for Kenny Chesney, so maybe he thought she was breaking the rules by having them boots on.
Yeah,
Good point.
teaching her a lesson.
He's like, listen, you're in or you're out, lady. This is Chesney land.
And those are your Friday Fail Stories. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We have some of your emails to get to. It is 8:44. It's Friday. Traffic and weather. Moon coming at you.
Traffic is brought to you by Worldwide Technology Raceway. Experience the thrill of nitro-fueled racing at the NHRA Midwest Nationals. Come see your favorite drag racers at WWT Raceway from September 27th to the 29th. Highways are clear. Your point forecast dry and muggy. Late showers are possible. High of 95 right now. It's 80 at the Point Studio.
Well, here we are at the Chaffetz Arena, gigantic show tonight with the Killers, joined by Brandon and Ronnie. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I love the album. Wonderful, Wonderful is out now. It is it's such a great record. I think very much worth the wait. I want to know first things first about Jackknife Lee. That produced this record for you. I know there were a couple of other guys as well that did a track, but I want to know about a producer and what his role is.
Systems, the all things basement tea experts. You got to check out the website moonloveswoods.com if you have any sort of basement issues going on, or a settling driveway or a settling front porch or any of that kind of stuff. Go to moonloveswoods.com. There's a special deal waiting for you. If your basement has musty smells, damp walls, signs of mold or mildew, or you're worried about any of that kind of stuff, maybe you've had standing water in your basement or there's some there now, you got to call Woods. Wet and leaky basements, they do not get better with time. They get better with Woods. Now, I had a front porch situation, and I found out that Woods does the concrete leveling, and I talked to them. They said, you know, it might be one of those things where it keeps falling, and sure enough, it was one of those that the previous homeowner was just jacking, and then it would fall, and jack and fall. And they're like, all right, this is how you fix it long-term, fixed forever. And they did concrete leveling and piers. It was an incredible process, and thank goodness I called Wood, so I wasn't just Band-Aiding the situation over and over again. I didn't wait any longer. I prevented further damage because I knew that these problems don't get better with time. They get better with Woods because the problem will be fixed forever. So if you have a settling driveway, a settling front porch, or any sort of concerns with your basement, you better call Woods Basement Systems, the all things basement tea experts. Check out that special deal at moonloveswoods.com.
I'm a fan, I'm a freaking nerd, I'm a big fan. St. Louis City has my heart, and Together Credit Union has made it so very easy for me. Not only have they dressed me well with this lovely scarf, but they gave me access to the St. Louis City SC Visa card. The credit and the debit card exclusive to Together Credit Union members, but it's gotten me 10% off food and bev in the stadium at the home opener. It got me 10% off at the team store, which is beautiful, by the way. And you know how Rizz and I are super cheap with our time. We don't like to stop or wait in lines because we're prissy, we're crybabies, whatever. I got express entry because of this little card right here, so you can get it too at Together Credit Union. I love them. Go City! All for City!
What an absolute honor. This is first Ho-Ho show of 2017. Headliner tonight, Rise Against, Tim McElrath from Rise Against. Absolute pleasure to meet you, man.
Good to be here, yeah.
So, okay, a couple of things that I wanted to ask you about, but I think I'm going to kind of start on the serious side of things, if that's all right with you.
Let's do it.
It is an unbelievable time in our country politically. Some people would maybe not say that it's a sad time politically, but I think that it's one of the lowest points that I can ever remember.
Yeah.
As somebody that is keeping track of what's going on in the world, like I know you guys do, sometimes myself I get so frustrated with just the daily just punch in the face of it all that I kind of want to back away from it. How do you consume the news that's out there, and do you ever get that feeling like when you're reading like Twitter or Facebook or something like, God, I feel like I got punched in the face just trying to get through the news of the day?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's so overwhelming, and you're like, we live in such a tumultuous time right now, especially in American history. And for a band like us who've been plugging away this for like 18 years and singing about the ills of society and singing about things where places where we find injustice, we want to like, you know, put water where the fire is. You know, it's kind of what we do. And so to have all these ideas that we thought made such progress on, I feel like racism and sexism and homophobia and xenophobia, and I feel like all that stuff kind of has come to rear its ugly head back again, and in this administration has such a permissive culture around all those ideas, which is sad. It lets you know and reminds you that the monsters of racism and sexism don't ever really go away. No. You know, we put them behind bars, but they find their way out, you know, if we don't constantly maintain that visibility on those issues. And so it's interesting, as a band that's been trying to rile people up for 18 years, I'm excited to see people riled up.
Sure.
I don't care that if it wasn't Rise Against to do it, I don't care what did it.
Right.
And certainly this election did it. So I get to see a lot of people who have opened their eyes, a lot of people who have traditionally buried their head in the sand, who have now come out and said, I gotta be more engaged, I have to speak up when I hear something that's wrong. I see what happens now when good people stay silent, you know? And so we've been a band through 4 different presidential administrations, so we also realized that a lot of the problems with this administration, you know, are just symptoms of a bigger disease. There's an ideology that fuels administrations like this one, and the ideology is something that we like to attack. It's more effective to treat the disease than just to be constantly treating the symptoms.
Now I'm 41, and when the undercurrent, this is kind of a crazy, like when the undercurrent of racism started to sort of peak back up kind of and became sort of acceptable in the last couple of years, or what, not acceptable, but you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, did it at all shock you? It shocked me because
Absolutely,
I thought like, I was like, this is still happening? Like we're really going backwards. So it really still took me a while to go like, it's really like this now, huh?
Right. And to have, I think that, you know, I think all of us are aware enough to know that racism never really went away. It certainly has existed, and then there are parts of the country that keep it kind of politely under their hat, you know?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this kind of brazen attitude towards it, where it was this kind of unashamed, unapologetic racism, and this, which was really kind of like a dismissal of our history as a country. You know, you can't erase the history of our country. You can't erase, you know, there are beautiful parts of this country and there's ugly parts of this country, and you can't erase the ugly. You need to acknowledge it. You know? And that's how we become proud of where we live, is when we can reconcile our history. But if you choose to forget our history or conveniently ignore it, then that takes you down a really strange
ceiling fan with baby owl feathers. Oh, and happy birthday, Rizz.
Before we get to your emails, just a couple of food news tidbits for you. Tomorrow, people around the globe will be celebrating the incredible gift of bacon, because tomorrow is not just National Bacon Day, it's international.
Whoa. Wow. Sweden signed on for this?
Everybody did. Everybody's on board. Everybody's on board.
What a unifier.
So here are some interesting stats about bacon, according to a recent poll of restaurant diners. 71% said everything tastes better with bacon. Not true. Not everything.
Well, you think about it. Burgers,
yogurt,
ice cream.
Yogurt and bacon? I bet you that doesn't taste good.
I don't know. Have you tried it? Greek yogurt would probably be all right.
What do you know about yogurt and bacon?
I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm just trying to guess.
What about yogurt-covered bacon? Like, not the yogurt that you eat with a spoon, but you know how sometimes they have, like, a yogurt drizzle?
Huh?
You know?
Like, a yogurt-covered raisin?
I bet that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, what if you had, like, a candied bacon? You've done that before, right?
Yeah.
Candied bacon, you sprinkle with the yogurt like she's talking about? I think that's...
Okay, all right.
I mean, listen, they got
all
bacon.
right.
They got bacon-wrapped dates, so they're already doing, you know, fruit and bacon.
57% say they'd eat bacon every day if they could. 69% say they consider bacon a side dish that could pair with anything.
Wait, you're going to tell me that Israel
Except maybe yogurt.
signed on
Yeah,
for,
no
for
way, dude.
International Bacon Day?
Well, there's
I don't
a
think they
Christian
don't eat
sect there.
cows. Bacon's pigs.
Yeah, but I thought the pig was
No.
unclean in like Hasidic.
I don't know anything about that.
They don't eat pork.
Oh, okay. Well, then this is a lie. What you're
And,
telling the people.
Why? You could ask beef bacon.
Is there? What
I'm
do you
sorry?
mean beef bacon?
There's turkey.
There's turkey bacon. There's beef bacon.
There's
Look up
cabin
beef
Does
bacon.
that just mean like off the belly or
There's
something?
impossible bacon.
I, for one, am happy I don't have to bring it up for once. There is impossible bacon. It's delicious.
You ever had bacon jam?
It's out there.
Yeah, oh yeah, man. Bacon jam is the jam. Bacon jam, dude, is the jam.
Okay, so bacon salt cured pork. So I don't know what. Yeah, I think beef and
Muslims don't eat pork.
Nope. Yeah.
Israelis.
Halal and
Israelis.
I see.
Israelis
I got my
don't
international.
don't mix dairy and meat.
Gotcha.
meat from other animals like beef, lamb, chicken, goat, turkey may also be cut, cured, or otherwise prepared to resemble bacon. May even be referred to as, for example, turkey bacon. Such use in common areas like Jewish and Muslim populations as both religious. You know, they prohibit the consumption of pork. Doesn't mean it's bacon. They're just calling it that to resemble that. For the
What about beef
alternatives.
bacon?
It says, beef, lamb, goat, turkey, all that kind of stuff.
What about bacon strips?
For the
My
dog.
grandma's favorite.
Did you guys ever do bacon bits? I heard that wasn't even bacon.
that's like
I used to on the salads.
That's like gym mats.
yeah, I think they just
Yeah.
grind up car tires and
you get it
but-
lodged into your teeth.
Yeah,
It would
but it
never
was-
come out.
It was so good as a kid.
Right.
You
yeah.
didn't know better.
You just take a big old spoon into that bag or that
They were
little shaker
crunchy.
thing.
Yeah.
that was in every home when we were kids, and
That
I
was
don't
the
think a single
We had
person's
Bacos.
bought that since 1985.
That was the hot trend.
That was the bacon
Bacon's
that
on
I had.
a baked potato.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
they were crunchy
Yeah.
and they tasted like bacon, but
They
Get
were
the
not.
job done.
don't look too much
It's
into
like
it.
Tang's not orange juice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just don't look into it. But when you're a kid, it's Tang or water. That's kind of what Bacos and bacon bits were all about.
Bacos.
So everybody's got a preference of bacon preparation, right? Like who wants it crispy? I don't like it where it's like falls apart.
Me neither.
I'm like
Depends
a
on-
medium. I'm
Yeah, it
like
just
a.
depends.
Depends on the kind. So many different kind. I mean,
I
sometimes
do want it kind of crispy, but not
If
I
you
don't
go
like it.
thin cut, crispy, thicker cut,
Like a
with lot of
medium?
fat. Yeah.
I don't want it to disintegrate like a tree bark from the petrified forest when I
Right.
take one bite of it. That's too
That's too
done.
much.
Some people like it like that, man. They want it like burnt.
sometimes you have the candy bacon that gets too hard. You almost kind of want that a little chewy. Don't you?
Yeah.
I like a little chew.
It's like a strange chewy, but it's chewy nonetheless.
I like the gritty crunch kind. And I like fat on it. I don't cut that fat
No.
off.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
It's-
delicious.
That's the mid. That's where
Fat
I'm
is
at.
flavor.
I like it to be crunchy, but still have.
Yeah.
Like if I make a BLT and I take a bite of it, the bacon stays. I don't have to like. It doesn't either explode and go all into your
Yeah.
plate, or just come out like when you pull away. It
Yeah.
can't separate. Yeah.
That's the best thing about bacon is you can have it both ways. You can have it crunchy and chewy at the same
However
time.
you want. However you want.
wine and dine.
McDonald's is adding to the Big Mac collection earlier this week. A food blogger named Snackalator reported that McDonald's will be debuting the Chicken Big Mac in the U.S. this year. So the sandwich is like the regular Big Mac, but instead of the 2 all-beef patties, the meat is 2 pieces of tempura-style chicken. They were testing it in Miami back in 2022. I guess it was a success. Also popular in the UK and Australia. So McDonald's will be putting it on the menu in the U.S. at some point soon. Now, let's talk about the most iconic food mascots of all time. It feels like fast food mascots are like old friends, right?
Of course.
We grew up with them.
Colonel Sanders. I love him.
So the website, is called, I forgot what the website is called. Damn it.
Mascots.com.
Mascots.com. So they put out a big survey to find out who are the most iconic fast food mascots of all time. The most iconic fast food mascots of all time. Let's see if you get the top 5.
Well,
Who made the top 5?
RMD.
Ronald McDonald. What place did Ronald McDonald come in?
Gotta be
If he's not one,
1 or 2.
If he's
Yeah, top 5 for sure.
yeah, he's got to be.
I mean,
one,
who
right?
could beat him?
Who could beat Ronald McDonald?
I mean, Jared from Subway, I think, is number
He's out.
one. Okay.
He's out. Didn't make the top 5 this year.
I mean, Grimace and the Hamburglar. I mean, they're a top 10 maybes.
Yeah,
but
but
I-
the
just
king,
have the
the
top
king
5.
from Burger King or Wendy,
the king from Burger King. I don't know.
I like him.
I
He's
don't
cool. Cool cat.
I like Wendy
Wendy's
and the
gotta be
Colonel.
there. The
Oh, yeah, the Colonel.
Maybe the Colonel has a chance.
You know, that is number 1.
Is this
Okay,
is this U.S. only?
These are all U.S. based fast food chains.
Got to be a 2-horse race between Ronnie and the Colonel.
Yep.
I want your top 5. Go
Oh man.
in order.
Personally, I would say.
I want you. What did America say?
Okay, I'll say Ronnie. Then,
Ronnie 1.
Then the Colonel.
Colonel 2.
Then Wendy.
Wendy.
And then I hate to go back to McDonald's, but I swear, dude, Grimace and the Hamburglar
Nope.
have to have a place. No?
No.
Neither?
No.
the only one.
Then I guess I'll go the King, even though I don't think that's.
So who'd you say? You said who?
I said Ronnie. The
Oh, we're
Colonel,
forgetting the
Ronnie.
big one.
Wendy.
Wendy and Ronnie.
It's Burger King. And
Missing one.
I can't think of it. I can't. I'm thinking of
Lern,
Dairy Queen. I'm thinking
Lern,
of
give me
Taco
the
Bell. I'm
order.
thinking about all these.
Give me the order.
Give me the order.
Here we go. Ronald McDonald.
It's number
the,
1.
The Colonel.
Yeah.
The Burger King.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to throw in the cows from Chick-fil-A.
Yep, that's the one we're missing.
And then I'm going to go into, and I am looking at all of them because I don't know all their names. And then I'm going to go Wendy.
Okay. Wrong.
Ronnie, Jack from Jack in the Box, who I think is going to be a dark horse higher on the list than you think.
That's a great one.
I'll go Colonel 3rd.
Jack probably beat Wendy, huh?
Does Chuck E. Cheese count?
Sure.
I'll say Chuck E. Cheese, if that's considered fast food. And, man, I don't know who number 5 will be, so I will just say it will be the King.
The King. All right, here we go. Oh, Scott, give me your order.
Whew. Okay, I'm going to go Sanders, Mr. Ronald, Wendy, Jack. That's a great one. I didn't have that at first, but I put that on there now. And Cow. I replaced King with Jack. And
Jack is a great
Okay.
one. Jack's probably 2
Yeah.
or 3.
Here you go. Here are your top 5.
Drum roll.
He's the funniest.
This is
Your
incredible.
top 5 most iconic fast food mascots of all time.
Oh, I'm so nervous.
Coming in at number 5.
The Noid.
You gotta avoid it.
That's a
Better
good
not.
one.
Jack Box from Jack in the Box.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Lower than I thought.
Worth it.
Hey, raise your hand if you had a Jack head on your antenna.
Definitely.
Little
I'm
Jack
not
ball.
weird.
Oh, 3.
I had one on
All
it.
the
For
way.
sure.
His name is-
3?
His name is Jack Box. I didn't even
I
know
did it
that.
in the 90s.
Does Jack Buck know about this?
Jack Box.
Jack Box.
CEO.
That doesn't sound. I mean, I've been on the show too long.
Yeah.
my head,
I didn't go to a good place.
my head instantly goes in the gutter.
Coming in at number 4. Wendy from Wendy.
Oh, okay.
Girl.
Okay. Coming in at number 3.
King.
It's the King from
There
Burger
it
King.
All right.
2-horse race. Here we go. The old men.
All right, so you're still sticking with
That Colonel.
the Colonel and Ronnie.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Who is number 1?
Oh, man.
Oh, by the way,
Colonel's one.
the Colonel has a bow tie. One of them strange high. I live on a plantation.
Yeah.
bow
That's
ties.
not-
Ooh, is that
that's
number
a
2
Southern
then?
But that's
thing.
like a Southern kind of thing.
We'll accept that.
Oh,
that's
it's
a
like
respectable
That's a
bolo-
ribbon bolo.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys are crazy. This
It's
is a bow.
different. It's different.
It's a bow
It's different.
We
tie.
don't want to piss
You're
off the
wrong.
Colonel.
You hater.
You're wrong.
So I don't even trust Orville Redenbacher, and he wore a bow tie.
Okay.
Oh,
So it's either Ronald or the Colonel.
Ladies and
Who
gentlemen.
is the most iconic fast food mascot of all time? Congratulations to Colonel Sanders. Yes.
Number 1.
Incredible.
Colonel Holland Sanders.
Holland.
you know what I like about this list?
What?
Out of the top 5, 3 are redheads, so it's pretty cool.
Look at you.
There ain't nothing more bow tie than this guy's bow tie.
It's not. It's different.
It's I mean,
Don't you
it
come
looks
at the
like
Colonel,
somebody
dude.
tied a shoelace with a
Or-
big old ribbon
Wait a minute.
on
Is that
his neck.
Yeah, that's Colonel. All right.
Colonel Holland Sanders.
Bow
Ronald McDonald was number
tie.
2. I would have to say, though,
It is called a Western bolo ribbon tie,
see? See, thank you, Rafe.
also known as the Western bow tie.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, you see what you want, guys.
I like that.
I like that.
I don't know. I think Ronald is more iconic than Colonel Sanders.
Well, yeah, that's tough.
It's interesting.
But I didn't get to vote.
Because is he over Moon? Have you ever seen him in Japan or anything at the McDonald's?
Dude, KFC. Oh. Dude,
On their
Ronald
buckets?
McDonald?
Yeah, but you see Colonel over there.
You see the Colonel logo everywhere. And that
Yeah,
is-
maybe
that is-
worldwide.
That is now a planetary staple too. KFC is killing it everywhere.
Yeah,
I know.
They're
And I got to say,
next to the pyramids.
I like how they've rebranded their buildings. They look kind of modern.
They look a lot better.
KFC?
Yeah, they just look clean and modern.
Yeah,
It's
I thought KFC was on its way out only because I grew up next to the Crestwood one, and the Crestwood one was a pile.
Well, they say the Colonel, his face is etched in the memories of countless chicken fried fans. Fried chicken fans, I'm sorry.
Chicken fried fans.
Chicken fried fans, that's right. Right in the oil with you. Let me put you in buttermilk and put you right in the oil.
What's up, chicken fried fans?
The Colonel
Who's
carries-
happy to be alive?
The Colonel carries an aura of professionalism, quality, and trustworthiness.
Hell yeah.
So congratulations to Colonel Harlan Sanders, the most iconic fast food mascot.
You know what?
He outranks me in the Pork Steak Army.
You know what did Ronnie in?
What?
Is all that clown hate, man. Tell you
Yeah.
what.
Yeah, thanks, it.
It was a fad for
Bill Skarsgård.
Well, I think also, Ronnie, you made the point. McDonald's spreads it around a little. Grimace, Hamburglar.
Yeah, they went everywhere.
So Ronald isn't the
They
only.
may have siphoned some votes.
May have siphoned some votes off. It's like they're third-party candidates, man. They're only getting votes to the other side, the Colonel's side.
KFC's got the old man, a striped bucket, and here's chicken.
There it is. And there it is. Yeah, you think that, okay. The cows, I guess, from
Yeah, but now that I think about it,
It's
the king,
pretty new.
The king is way bigger.
But what is the king? I mean, because haven't they done? I never thought it was the king. I thought it was the crown. I thought the logo was the crown.
which goes on the head of the king.
Yeah.
The Burger
I
King.
understand, but the king is so different each time. Remember, it was like
The plastic head.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
like,
which
it was
was the
basically
cool
the
one.
plastic guy from a freaking Primus video.
Yeah.
You know, like it was like Primus video Burger King logo, and then it was like a cartoony version, and it was something else. Like, has it always been that same goatee
Well,
feller?
look up the old Willard Scott, the original Ronald McDonald. Looks like a thing from Nightmares.
Yeah,
Like
it's
the
an,
original Ronald is like a thing from Nightmares.
it's an advanced logo, but like Burger King.
Looks like John Wayne
Over the
Gacy's
years.
inspiration.
Oh yeah, good question. Is Jack a clown?
I don't think so.
No.
He looks like more of a snowman.
Trying to think of I thought Little Caesar could possibly crack.
Oh yeah.
Because it's been around forever. They have not changed that message in years.
Pizza?
Yeah, pizza.
Yeah.
On my Instagram feed yesterday, Mac Sabbath came up, and I forgot about that band.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
hilarious.
they all dressed like
They look awesome.
McDonald's characters, and they play Black Sabbath.
They come through like once a year at the off-Broadway, I feel like.
Okay.
Hey, honestly though, but before the Primus video version of the Burger King, did you ever see a king? Was there like?
I don't think it's been around from the inception. I feel like the king is more of a modern,
Yeah, more modern thing.
kind of like the.
in that way.
I
I
don't know
would
if they're
think.
still doing it, but Arby's had the mitt, the little
Oh, yeah.
hamburger helper knockoff
Yeah.
guy.
I always
still
thought
got him?
I always thought that was a cowboy hat.
That was. I mean, the one in the original, it's closing, which is a bummer, but the OG Arby's, the one like
In
on
South
Sunset
City?
Boulevard in LA with the giant cowboy hat that people take pictures in front of. Shuddering. The shit.
Huh, that's it.
Dang.
Oh, what a
but,
shame.
Yeah, Burger King's had a mascot since the king mascot since the 60s. And in 77, the guy, there's a video here of one, and he looks basically like the one the Primus video one, but he's a real person.
Okay.
Weird.
All right, let's get to some of your emails. Ratio at 1057thepoint.com, or even your instant feedback through the 1057 The Point mobile app.
Emails brought to you by Kloss Furniture. Lowest prices guaranteed. We have something for everybody. We'll start with entertainment reviews. This email came over today. It says, I don't believe Lern was listening to Nirvana in 94 at 9 years old. I call BS.
Well,
Whoa,
you can
calling
think
you
that.
out.
I was. I mean, I had a cousin. My cousin Josh was completely impactful on me. He was a bit older than me, and I was listening to cool music when I was a kid.
Well, I don't believe you.
Really?
And plus, they were playing it on the radio.
They were playing it on the radio.
I believed you. I didn't think anything of it.
No, great. I mean, the 90s were just different. Like, I mean, I was listening to, No Doubt and Nirvana. I mean, 16 Stone. I've told that story a million times, how I fell asleep to Glycerine every night. So, I mean, that was the time of Nirvana,
Listen,
just like
I was
Bush.
listening to Guns N' Roses and Def Leppard and Motley Crue at 10.
Yeah. That's how old we were in the 90s when this stuff
Yeah.
was hitting.
Also, it wasn't like you said the Smiths. Like
Yeah.
the
Right. The
Nirvana
biggest
was
band.
super mainstream. Like it was on
that point,
MTV, it was on
94, yeah, it was
TRL.
all-
Yeah, I was
on,
locked to MTV. Like,
I mean, you couldn't avoid listening to Nirvana.
Well, there wasn't TRL back in '94, but you couldn't get away from it.
no, you couldn't. I mean, I just
that
had
Teen
older
Spirit video
cousins
was
and
on
MTV.
MTV like every 5
Yeah.
seconds.
And so my friends Danielle, Rhiannon, and I, we loved Kurt Cobain. We had Nirvana posters in our rooms in the 90s when we were 10 or 9 or however old we were. I had Bush, I had No Doubt, I had Garbage. All those bands of that time were like the soundtrack of my life. So I call BS on your BS
I
email.
believe you. I believe you.
Plus, that's what happens, man. Older people in your life influence your musical proclivities.
Right.
I was super eclectic. I would go to school. Everybody's listening to Guns N' Roses and New Kids on the Block. I'm like, you guys listen to Steve Earle's Copperhead Road?
No,
or-
get out of here. Nobody does.
My Uncle Dave had me listening to some wild stuff.
And I wasn't into like 90s pop, like Paula Abdul a little bit, maybe. New Kids on the Block a little bit, maybe. But I was a grunge kid. Like I loved all those bands. And my mom, like my first concert was Smashing Pumpkins at SIU. Right after Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness came out.
Yeah.
That was my first show. So all those bands at that time was exactly what I was listening to.
Yeah, that's so. I remember making a mental note that the first CD my son asked me to buy him, to be like, I'm going to make fun of you for this later in life.
And what was it?
All American Rejects.
It's a great band.
Great band. But I'm saying, like, it's the same thing, right? It's
Yeah.
like he was probably 8 or 9 years old. They were pretty modern, like, alternative band at that time. And
Prominent.
I'm like, that's what he wanted. So it's like he was listening at that age to, like,
What's popular?
Right.
which is like, that's not, I don't know
And
why
back
that
in
would be so-
'94, that was popular.
Yeah, I was in 4th grade in 1994. And that's what my dad and my mom were rock and rollers. And so, along with classic rock, it was whatever the rock station. And WTAO down in Southern Illinois would be, I mean, it was Nirvana, Bush, sometimes Smashing Pumpkins, Alice in Chains, all of that stuff.
I remember in 6th grade, I was, playing in class. Like we had free time where we were able to play stuff on the cassette player. Aerosmith's Pump.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Next.
Okay, so we got a lot of emails about this subject, so I'm going to read 2 of them, kind of excerpts from 2 of them. Hello, Ted and Lern.
Hi.
After listening to the podcast that mentioned the cave systems in the area and also through Kansas City, I wanted to chime in. I worked for a company that had their offices and production company in one of the caves near Kansas City. I literally drove 2 miles to get to our office area, all underground in these caves. It was amazing as to the work being done underground, the amount of space that currently is being renovated. Love the show. The next one said, I'm emailing you to let you know that Lern was absolutely spot on when she was talking about the caves in Valmar, storing frozen pizzas for distribution to stores. I worked for Nestle for 3+ years, and I would drive my truck into the cave around 4 a.m., get loaded with frozen pizza and ice cream for my route throughout St. Louis areas and parts of the South as well. There were 4 to 5 docks, 3 enormous freezers there as well. Freezers stored many other frozen goods that would be sent out all over the region from multiple other companies. Semis would pull in all day long, making deliveries on behalf of the companies that stored their products there. Unbelievable sight for the first time. Happy birthday, Rizz.
Well, that's amazing.
Isn't
So
it?
they really do store frozen pizzas and ice cream in a system of caves.
Yeah, and there's a great, if you like to hike and stuff, there's
I
a great
don't.
trail right by the cave system. So you obviously can't go near the off-limits areas. I mean, people walk up right to the edge of where you can go. You can't go in the caves, but you can see it all. And it's a whole system down there. And Joe Capias, the Capias family, they own it, I believe, and it's cool as hell. Check
I
it
want
out.
to know if that driver's ever taken the highway that's underground all the way from there to Denver's airport.
Right?
That's what I want to know.
That's what I want to know, too.
Yeah.
Scott, good point.
How many times have you done that, buddy? I bet you've been on it a lot, not telling us the truth.
Next.
Girlfriend just moved into a new house in the Metro East. Neighborhood small, tightly packed houses. Her yard has no fence. The neighbor next to her is basically a chain link fence leaning on 2 T-posts and a large noisy pit bull that they keep outside most of the time. Girlfriend goes to let her dog out, and if the pit bull is out, it pushes through the fence, circles her dog, barking at it. Hasn't attacked it yet, but if it wanted to, her dog would be dead in seconds. She now has to sneak out of her house to let her dog out and walk the other way down the street.
Put up a fence.
She tried talking to the neighbors, but they aren't home, or they act like they aren't, and the car's in the driveway. She finally got them to come to the door and said that their dog is harassing her every day and can't go to the bathroom. Asked them politely if they would fix the fence. They said, nah, it's fine. He's friendly. It's not harassment. They went back inside, and through an open window, she heard them mocking and laughing at her. What would be a
We're
reasonable?
like, get a load of this bitch.
She's worried about our
What would a reasonable person do at this point, not involving arson? Rizz?
Move.
She should have absolutely no guilt calling animal control, right? Starts a feud with new neighbors, but they forced it. Sent from my toaster. What's your advice?
I mean, you got to protect your animal.
Yeah,
So if you can't build a fence, I mean, you got to call the authorities.
Well,
let
if you
the
can't build a
authorities
fence,
handle
then
it.
you got to start walking your dog then.
Well, yeah.
And
Don't let
you
your
said
dog
it's a
out in the
chain link,
backyard.
right? Chain link?
They said there's something leaning up there, but it gets pushed over by the other dog.
I mean, I would go get also some poles or something and just barricade it.
Yeah.
That would be, yeah, I would try to reinforce it if you can. If there's already an existing fence, just do something to strengthen it a little bit. And if that doesn't work, they rent. Did they say if they were renters or homeowners?
Didn't say. Just moved in.
I mean, talk to your landlord. Get a fence, man. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to get a fence or walk your dog and not let your dog in the backyard.
I
Don't
get
risk
it.
it.
They're being, everybody thinks their dog's cool till they're not.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also the neighbor with the pit. I mean, you know how bad of a rep pit bulls get. I hate that. Like I've babysat a pit bull before that was the sweetest dog ever, so I don't have that bias. But my husband, he had a cat that was killed by a pit bull when he was a kid, and so he saw firsthand like what that breed of
Those
dog could
things
do.
be
You know,
potentially a nightmare.
sure.
They
So
tend to win fights.
there's a bias already out there, and it, that the pit bull owners kind of reinforcing, like, I don't know, just find a way to coexist with your freaking neighbors.
Well, it looks like
man.
these people won't compromise. They're jerks.
You got to be, yeah, you got to take care of your own stuff. I get that, but
Either
what
try to
crappy
reinforce
neighbors?
the fence or don't let the dog in the backyard or move. I mean, you got no other choice. And if burning the house down is off the table, then I got nothing else.
right, true.
Next.
Hey, just wanted to tell you guys, thank you so very much. We were at trivia night on Thursday. You guys played matchup with Moon. And the same question about trees came up that you guys had come up with, and we knew it because we listened to the Rizz show. Definitely not the first time and definitely won't be the last that listening to your guys' show between Matchup with Moon and back in the day helps us out during trivia. Thank you
Good,
guys
that's
so
all
much
we
for
do.
your show. 3 out of 5 stars.
Deciduous.
Deciduous
Trees. Look it up. I'm not going over again. Next.
Hey, fellas, and Lern. Moon was talking about sitting on his deck early and construction was being done on a neighbor's house. On Tuesday this week, the trash truck went by our house at 4:50 a.m. This woke up my 16-month-old son, and guess who thought it was time to be up for the day? I called the trash company, and they said, sorry, we're allowed to do it as early as 5 a.m. I didn't confirm that, and considering they're the source, I'm not sure I even believe that. Don't you think 5 a.m. is too early for trash trucks? Loyal Weirdo Joe sent from Moon's iPhone.
That is early.
It's early, but
Yeah.
don't they have pretty big routes? And that's the only way to get everything
It's not
done?
daily either. Like it's once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
You
they're
might-
in and out.
I understand the stress of a parent of
Yeah,
a
it
young kid.
sucks.
It sucks
That's
when,
annoying.
when you finally get somebody sleeping.
every little thing is probably setting them off.
Yeah,
I get it.
Would a sound machine help with that?
As a parent with a young kid, you know, who's sleep deprived,
Right.
every little thing. Ah, damn
Sure.
truck.
Yeah.
yeah. This too shall pass.
It'll be fine. What can you do? If it's the law that they're allowed to be out that early, then it's a law. Unless you go try to change the law, it sucks.
Well, I guess you could at nighttime just roll everyone's trash cans back up in their property, and then that way just
That is roll right by.
I do, and
skips your neighborhood.
I've been guilty of this a time or two. I have more issue with the neighbors taking their trash out at midnight. It's
Like the rolling?
the loud rolling. You know, because it's always right next to all the neighbors' bedrooms. And I am guilty. There's been a few times where I've been on my way to work, and I'm like, oh my
Yes.
god, I forgot to put
do
the
it.
trash.
It's the
And I'm like
worst.
slow motion trying to get
Right.
it out at 4 a.m. and I'm loud and I'm a
try to
jerk.
roll it in the grass.
You guys and
Make
your
it quiet.
suburban problems. I love it.
Yeah, you got noise nonstop.
Yeah. The rolling and this person too, just like the city just is a giant trash truck, just all night.
It's true.
Well, try moving out to the suburbs. I bet you the quietness will keep you away.
I think it would, dude. It would be like that weird. I'd just be listening to the sound of my own thoughts.
When I first moved here, I could not sleep for about a month because it was too quiet.
That's
It's kind of
funny.
scary, isn't it? Whenever it's that quiet.
I was like, something's up.
I don't like it.
Something's up. I don't like it. Next.
Hey, Rizz fam, mostly Lern.
What?
I was recently dating a guy that, after about 5 months, wouldn't tell me his middle name. I decided to Google him and found a document that was a little concerning. Instead of spiraling or trying to research more, I texted him right away and was honest about why I Googled him and asked him about what I found. Pretty sure everything checked out, but he got really defensive. Said it was weird, creepy, and off-putting that I Googled him and just didn't respect that he didn't want to and that I didn't respect that he didn't want me to tell me his middle name.
What reason would you, unless your middle name is Hitler?
Right.
He then never spoke to me again. P.S. We met on a dating app. Most opinions I've gotten say there is nothing wrong with what I did in being a girl that met a guy on the internet. I was doing my due diligence. And anyone that gets offended or mad has something to hide. But I'm also not sure if it was something of an invasion of privacy on my part. Would love your thoughts from the males and female perspective. Also, maybe some feedback from listeners in the dating app world. Love y'all sent from my iPhone.
Dump him.
No. He's not talking
He
to her.
ghosted her now.
He ghosted her?
I think this is completely appropriate for her. I
think you dodged a bullet.
I do too. It sounds like there's skeletons.
What are you hiding?
Yeah, what are you hiding?
Your
Just be
middle
real.
name.
Don't you want your spouse or your partner to be savvy and pay attention to that stuff, head on a swivel?
Right. And what a weird thing to be holding
Weird about.
back. Yeah, like I love learning about people's middle names. I love my middle name is Leslie. Go for it. Like I'm proud of her. She did the right thing, and yeah, she dodged a bad guy. Sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, outside of the middle name, man, if I was a woman, I would Google every single dude before I ever even went on one date.
How would you not assume that's being done already?
I would just assume it. And I'm like, I welcome the Google. Like, you should be. I mean, I told you guys earlier this year, my neighbor went on 3 dates with the dude from the Nexium cult before she Googled him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's crazy.
That you didn't do it immediately.
She's like, I liked him once. I was like, maybe I should look him up. And it turns out he was like the lead on Keith Rainier's Get Keith Rainier Out of Prison PR campaign. And I'm like, yeah, you might want to bail. I'm sure he's a nice guy. Maybe he has some good qualities.
Why would you not want somebody knowing your middle name? What was his middle name?
Right.
I want to know.
Crazy. Yeah, that's the most interesting part.
Is your middle name Asswipe? It's Aswipe. Remember that sketch?
I think she did everything right here. And she Googled him, saw something concerning, and talked to him immediately about
Which
it.
is cool,
I
man.
think she did everything right.
Yeah, he's being weird. He's
being
dude.
weird.
Yeah, you dodged the
Goodbye.
Bye.
Next.
Let's see. Hey, dudes and dudette, good morning. Well, you guys were talking about roadkill, and I just want to let you know that we fed my family and other guests roadkill during our barbecue the day before our wedding.
Confessional time. Did they know?
Let's see.
Is that the catering you're looking into for your 40th
that's what I want.
birthday?
Roadkill catering.
Catching up with the podcast, wanted to share my roadkill story. We've had so many good stories. Husband and I met on deployment in Iraq, had our house hit by a tornado, among other things. This one falls right into our genre of life experiences, which I'd categorize as WTF. The night of our rehearsal dinner, my husband was driving a friend, my father, and brother back to the house. We saw the guy in front of him hit a deer, got her right in the head. He said if he didn't have his soon-to-be in-laws in the car, he'd pick her up. As soon as he got home, his cousin called. She hit a deer and wanted to know if he wanted it.
I mean, if you saw it done, it's pretty fresh, right?
He said it's got to be a sign, got everybody back in the car, picked up the deer he saw get hit, and went to the farm to get the other. They spent the next several hours cleaning the 2 deer that were just hit in our garage. I'm from the East Coast, so my family were all coming from out of town, so the day before the wedding, we were planning on having a barbecue for them. We just so happened to have some fresh deer loin in the fridge. It seemed like a perfect situation. If you've never had smoked venison loin bite wraps in bacon, you haven't lived.
I mean,
Thanks for everything you do. Happy birthday, Rizz. 3 out of 5 stars.
Okay. Just tell me, don't tell me it's roadkill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's how you market
Just say it's deer on a grill.
It's deer. It's fresh deer. Harvested yesterday. Don't tell me it's roadkill.
It's fresh venison.
Fresh venison. It is Hoosier.
It's harvested by a Peterbilt.
Delicious.
So you don't want to. So you're okay not knowing.
Yeah.
It's not lying by omission. That doesn't bother you in some way.
I mean, if you say it's fresh venison,
It's your food,
like
though,
harvested
bro.
I
yesterday.
don't even like that word.
It's your food, man.
I'm going to ask, just don't feed me roadkill if you can avoid it.
No, I'm saying
Definitely
if you're gonna do it,
Yeah,
don't tell me.
Definitely don't tell me.
But in her
I'd
part
rather
of you, it's
not.
also glad they didn't waste it.
Noted.
No,
Noted.
I don't care.
I'm also not a
Noted.
fan of,
You're not feeding anybody roadkill.
You ever tried this squirrel?
No.
You ever tried a squirrel before?
I'm not a huge
I'm
fan of
good.
people that do that either. The sneaky. You ever have somebody sneak something up past you?
Oh, yeah, my
you just-
stepfather.
but that's what you just said you want.
No, I'm saying
You said you wanted to be sneaky.
No, I'm saying they knew they were eating venison. I've had people sneak meats.
Yes,
Be like, you won't even know this is possum.
that's right.
And you've already eaten it. And they're
Mm-hmm.
like, you didn't even know. You just ate squirrel. And I'm like, I need to know what you're putting in my body.
So sneaking exotic things because okay, and I'm going to bring this case up. When we were in Kansas City, we were doing the tailgating for the Chiefs game, and we're there, and this dude, he's famous for our buddies, the tequila gators.
Okay.
They've got just the greatest food and the greatest food options you've ever seen.
Crock pots
this
full
is
of
the
everything.
the greatest tailgating experience on planet Earth. And one of the dudes is famous for his meatballs. And we were cruising these meatballs, dude. I mean, just smashing them. And he was like, and people were like, man,
He's like, those are
what's the
testicles."
secret? Yeah. And he goes, oh, I do have a secret.
What was the secret? I don't know about this.
Oh, breaking news.
It's roadkill. No, I'm kidding. He said the fear in their eyes makes
What
it
is
taste sweeter. It's turkey.
Oh.
Oh, Lord.
But
Okay, I remember those meatballs.
okay, but either way, what I'm saying is, it was still a surprise. So you're
Nobody's
just not-
offended by turkey.
I think you can probably, I'll give you a
What if
turkey
they are?
pass.
Who's offended by eating turkey?
I don't know. Somebody.
If it's like snake or like possum.
I don't think it's necessary not to tell me it's turkey because I would eat it anyway. But I definitely don't. I've had people try to. It's a thing. It's a Southern Illinois thing too. To be like just to put venison and stuff. Be like, you won't even know the difference, and you won't. But it's like, just tell me what I'm eating.
Right.
What about something in between, half exotic, half something you probably
Like
eaten
what?
before? Like ostrich.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, ostrich is turkey, chicken, beef, pork.
But you're not walking around with a list of what you've had before and what you're okay with.
Those are the big four.
That's the big four of eating.
Anything other than out of the big four range, you need to tell me about. Am I right?
I agree. I'll give you the four. I'll give you the
Sustained.
Mount Rushmore of
Chicken, turkey,
mainstream meats.
The meat Mount Rushmore.
duck.
is
Tell
big
me
meat
about duck.
talking right
And I
now.
like duck.
Okay.
I need to know.
I don't like it.
Goose, I need to know.
Right.
Rabbit, squirrel, definitely
course.
need to know. If you're
Veal?
gonna go, I'd like to know that too because
What's
I
that?
don't love that.
Little babies.
Oh my gosh.
I like the blubber though; it's really tasty.
And then if you're gonna go wilder, if you're gonna like try to sneak gator past me or something,
Tell me.
just tell me.
Just tell me.
I'll try it.
Anything out of the big four, you got to tell me. All right. Thank you for your emails. All right. Well, we'll finish up with some sports. It is 9:25. It is Friday. Traffic and weather. Moon coming at you.
Traffic brought to you by Worldwide Technology Raceway. Experience the thrill of nitro-fueled racing at the NHRA Midwest Nationals. Come see your favorite drag racers at WWT Raceway from September 27th to the 29th. Highways are clear. Your point forecast dry and muggy. Late showers possible. High of 95. Right now it's 81 at the Point Studio.
Okay. So Ronnie says, hey, if it was harvested out of season, you wouldn't automatically know it's roadkill. So if he said it's, hey, I harvested it yesterday, I don't know when I don't know.
I just think of the smell associated with most roadkill.
I don't know what seasons for anything are.
These were fresh, though. One he said he
Pennzoil.
saw get hit, and then the cousin called him up for the other ones.
No, I mean, if the guy says I got fresh venison yesterday and it's not,
Could have gotten it
it's
from
not
a
deer
butcher
season
or something. You
Yeah.
just don't have to say where you got it from.
To be honest, probably the majority of the venison that we've eaten, now that I'm thinking about it, it wasn't all in the fall. It wasn't all in the
see?
fall.
It could have come out of the freezer.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with sports.
All right, so here we are backstage, way back Point Fest, and we are absolutely thrilled. Myself, Mr. Jeff Burton.
Thank you. It's thrilling to be here with you. Oh, you're talking about them.
Right,
Sorry.
right. Noodles and Peanut, gentlemen, it's great to see you. Thanks for coming back.
You guys get along like me and Noodles get along.
Yeah,
I can see that. Sure.
I mean, like, we have known each other for a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Like,
kind of the same, right?
there are, I mean, he was at my bachelor party, for goodness
Yeah.
sake. So, you know what I mean?
Nice. No stories. Okay. No backstories.
There's
Okay,
a lot.
so how much tape you got in the thing? With the thing there? How much?
And it's really similar because me and Noodles should have known each other for a really long time.
We should have.
Yeah,
We're
that's
definitely
exactly the same.
kindred spirits. As soon as we get together, we really do just
Yeah, we click
like that.
really nice.
Well, how long have you guys known each other, though?
10 years now, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, that's
Well,
when we
from touring.
did the first tour. Yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't really start hanging out until we started doing press together on this
one.
run.
That's
yeah.
when we solidified our bond.
Well,
for
we
sure.
recognized genius and humor.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Sure.
It's like,
yes.
He's one of me.
Exactly.
So you guys are hanging out socially then, outside of
Women's Health. It's Friday, alrighty, and you probably got a paycheck today. Set just a little sliver of it aside and schedule yourself an appointment at Victory Men's Health where they can help you get your health back on track in 2024. We don't know what's going on with you, but you know what? Maybe you're not feeling yourself. You need to go get your blood tested and figure out what's going on with your body, and Victory will test it down to a microcellular level and let you know what's up. And then they can give you a treatment plan customized just for you to fix it. It's not a one-size-fits-all. Maybe you got some problems with the ED. Maybe you're having a testosterone issue. Maybe you just need some peptides to level you out, vitamin deficiencies. Maybe you just need your fluids topped off. They got IVs that'll make you feel like $1 million. You sit in a little gravity-free egg chair and watch a Clint Eastwood movie while you get topped off. Whatever you need, Victory's got something to help you, and they're invested as much as you are in your health, which is probably my favorite part of it. So, whatever you're doing, drop it. Go to victorymenshealth.com right now. Schedule yourself an appointment at one of their 4 locations. There's one in East O'Fallon, one in Sunset Hills, one in Town and Country that we all go to. Make an appointment today. Get in there as fast as you can to take your health back in 2024 at victorymenshealth.com.
Hey, it's Lux, and I'm backstage at Point Fest with the Glorious Sons. What's up, guys?
How you doing?
This is your second Point Fest in a row.
Yep.
Not only were you invited once, but you've been invited back again. How has this day shaped up compared to last year?
It was a nice day.
Nice
Good
day?
crowd,
Great crowd
Great
today.
crowd, yeah.
Good crowd, great crowd.
I needed that show today.
Did you?
Yep.
Where were you
didn't.
guys?
Brett didn't,
I could have
but
just
I
stayed
did.
home and done this. So where were you guys last night?
Oklahoma?
Good. You know,
Rocklahoma.
Rocklahoma.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big festival.
Yeah.
Did you get to see any cool bands?
No. We stayed in our bus and we left before tornado hit.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, really?
I don't think a tornado actually
it
hit,
didn't
but
hit,
there
but
was like a
Bad weather?
Yeah,
Just
bad
didn't
weather
wanna
warning.
Get hit by that one.
Never even seen a tornado, so I'm quite scared of them actually. To be honest.
We have them quite often here in Missouri, but I have heard today's should be okay. So, but also maybe after the show,
Yeah, we'll leave.
leave the Midwest for a little. Leave the Midwest for a little bit. May is not a great month.
Hunker
for
down
us.
in the casino.
Yeah.
Well, I know we talked about this the last time that we chatted. That you guys are hockey fans.
Not really, to be honest. Packer, our drummer, and Jesse, our guitar tech, are major Leafs fans. But I think we've both kind of grown out of it. It gets kind of spoon-fed to you.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, is it being a Canadian? That's like, is that like just a thing that everybody?
Yeah,
you
well,
expect?
it's a huge sport in the country, but I mean, I think there's a lot of people also that get sick of hearing about it.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people.
Oh, darn! Because I was going to say, here in St. Louis, going into the Stanley Cup Finals next
But
week.
you're playing my boys, the Bruins. I'm a Bruins fan.
What?
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
He's not a real hockey
Yes,
fan.
I
man.
am.
He's a he's a
Bruins fan.
fraud. He's a liar.
I'm a Patriots fan. I'm a Bruins fan.
He hasn't
I'm
didn't
a
wa-
Celtics fan,
What?
even though I don't watch.
He didn't watch one single game
Bullshit.
all year.
It's horseshit.
Well, hey, I follow you guys on social media, and one of you tweeted out a great moment between the Las Vegas Knights and the San Jose Sharks. Just a nice nut shot, and I thought, oh god, these guys are hockey guys.
That's the extent of my fanship. Is that highlight right there? I love
cool.
that.
I watched it a few times over
Yeah.
last night, like
Yeah, it
a
was
few times.
brilliant.
It really was. Well,
Art.
this is something I do know about you. You're foodies.
Yeah, Jay
Hey.
is. I kind of follow in Jay's wake on that one.
Oh, yeah?
He's a big foodie.
Have you tried any of the St. Louis local foods the times that you've been here?
You know what? Yes, actually. Last time, I don't know. I can't tell this story actually.
Too bad.
We did go.
Last
out
time I
for,
was in a
like,
bathtub full of toasted wraps. Things got weird.
It involved a vape pen and up my nose, and then I
Oh, man.
blacked out while I was.
Jay's not very good at handling his weed. Neither am I.
Smoke a vape pen up my nose, and then. So last time I was here, I was.
That must be the Canadian way. I'm not sure I'm on that.
It got completely erased.
Gigantic lightweight, and he decided to smoke it up his nose for a night. And
Yeah. So
But that's when you must have loved everything you ate then, right?
Meal of my fucking life.
I know.
St. Louis food is so good.
I kind of didn't get a chance to eat that night, so.
Oh no! So you've never tried gooey butter cake or?
I didn't know.
Friends over at Schnucks. So maybe you're going to go food shopping today because you got a barbecue coming up and you got people coming over. And I'm always talking about how great the rewards program is. And now it's even better because it just released new perks to make it more personalized. So they now have personal double points days, which makes earning rewards easier and faster. Just keep an eye out on the rewards app for your personal double points day coupon. And once you clip it, you could use it to get double the points on your entire purchase. So instead of your usual 2% back, you're getting 4% back in Schnucks Awards to use on a later purchase. And you get to choose when to use the coupon. So let's say you got the coupon last week, and you're going to go today to Schnucks, and you're really going to get the bang for your buck. It's an in-app coupon, so you got to make sure you download the Schnucks Rewards app and check your digital coupons. That's where you'll find the coupon when it pops up every once in a while. Download the Schnucks Rewards app, do it today, and look out for those personal double points days.
Oh, let's do it now.
Let's do it now.
Let's do it now. Okay, so wait, and Clovis, I don't think you have a clue how bad this this gun hurts. Would you like an example? Would you like to try? Would you put your butt on the line and?
You guys can shoot me.
Yeah. Have Scott. How about you shoot Clovis first?
Can I take one
shot in the
Can I
tush.
take one of his shots and give him 4? Was that
What?
fine?
No.
Oh, that's happened. I'd like to. I mean, just as a gesture.
I mean,
of
that's a pretty.
goodwill.
That's
Whole thing online this week that people are pissed off at the TSA.
Why?
For tweeting that peanut butter is a liquid. Because we have no other problems in this world. This is what's outraging people. So the level of anger those 5 words have stoked is really kind of amazing. So the TSA went viral after tweeting that, quote, peanut butter is a liquid. It's been viewed by more than 20 million people, 20 million times in the last couple of days. And the post said, quote, peanut butter is a liquid. We said what we said. And they obviously meant to, troll people with this thing, but they really do classify it as a liquid.
Interesting.
So if you want to carry peanut butter on a plane, it's got to be 3.4 ounces or less. And some nerdy internet sleuths pointed out that technically peanut butter is not a liquid. It's a non-Newtonian fluid. Just so you know.
What's the difference between fluid and liquid?
Is toothpaste considered
It's a
a liquid?
non-Newtonian fluid.
Okay.
Or if you really want to get technical, part of a subset of non-Newtonian fluids is called Bingham plastics.
Huh.
Toothpaste and mayonnaise are also Bingham plastics. And the reactions online have been fun. One person called it, called for a congressional oversight hearing. Another joked that they could no longer wash their meal down with a nice cold glass of peanut butter. A third person was blunt, telling the TSA, "This is why nobody likes you." Damn.
This.
I don't know about that.
There's another couple of reasons I would imagine.
And before we get to sports here, listen, it's hot, it's swampy. It's not just here in St. Louis. The Midwest has been going through an awful, heat wave.
For sure.
61 million Americans have been under excessive heat watches and warnings. Illinois even hit a real feel of 113. Ooh. And if you've been watching any weather forecasts lately, you might have heard that corn sweat is one of the driving factors for the crushing heat.
Oh, yes.
What the heck is corn sweat?
Corn sweat is the moisture that is in the vegetable that is being released in mass to the atmosphere, making it more humid.
Yes.
Nice. Follow me for more tips.
The official term is evapotranspiration, which means, quote, water loss from the surface of the soil or open water as vapor evaporation, and from the surface of plants as water vapor transpiration. And 1 single acre of corn can release 3,000 gallons of water into the atmosphere per day. And this makes the humidity skyrocket, and combined with the awful heat, makes being outside almost unbearable. And since states like Iowa and Illinois have millions of acres of cornfields, this oppressive heat wave has hit them particularly hard. Mm-hmm. Although some people from the area who've lived there their whole lives said they've never heard the phrase corn sweat until recently, and it's worth pointing out that evapotranspiration happens in all kinds of crops like soybeans and Rafe's favorite, alfalfa. Not just corn.
This kind of ruins the whole movie Signs. Because the aliens loved hiding out in the corn.
That's a good point, Scott.
Well,
And they
anyway.
can't do water.
Anyway. All right, Moon, what do you got?
Sports brought to you by Jack and Coke, the popular cocktail now available in a ready-to-drink can.
I don't know if you can talk about it. Obviously, the big story this morning is the death of Columbus Blue Jackets winger Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matthew, both killed yesterday after being hit by a car while riding their bikes. And even more tragic, yes, it's tragic. Both brothers are supposed to serve as groomsmen at their sister's wedding today.
Yeah, they were
That's
posting
awful.
on the news here. It shows a picture of his posts about rehearsing for the wedding and all that.
Oh, my gosh, man.
Possible drunk driver. Anyway, sorry.
Okay. Well, Sonny Gray retired, the first 7 Padre batters.
Just read the story. Don't make it weirder.
He tossed 6 innings and allowed 1 run to help the Cardinals to a 4-1 win in front of an announced crowd of 26,000. Yeah, right? We saw pictures.
Right. So
and
Moon and I
everything.
saw a picture of Busch Stadium. Now, mind you, it was a day game. It was a Thursday, and it was very hot out.
And it was for the anthem, so technically it was before the game
It was
started?
right before the game at the anthem. There was maybe 100 people in the bottom bowl.
I mean, 100, guys. You could count them.
Yeah.
From a distant picture, count them.
Dang. Wild.
Cardinals outfielder Tommy Pham could find himself on a 3rd team in just over a month span by the end of the weekend, which would mark it into his brief return to the organization. Remember, we drafted him, brought him to the majors, traded him out. Pham, a right-handed hitting veteran, became one of several players across Major League Baseball, placed on waivers yesterday.
So we just got him, what, last month?
Within the month, yeah.
He came back
last
with-
month. Came back with that home run.
Then
Right, hit a grand slam. Was it a grand slam?
Yeah.
His
Grand
first-
slam, yeah.
Didn't he have 2 in a row?
Something like that, but it
2
was like,
nights in
all
a row or
right.
something? Yeah.
Tommy Pham.
So he was placed on waivers yesterday. Hey, number 11, Missouri took control immediately in a season-opening win over Murray State. Brady Cook completed 19 of his 30 passes for 218 yards and a passing touchdown. He also picked up 22 yards and a score on the ground in a 51-0 blowout. Holy smokes.
So, yes, college football is back up and running.
back, baby.
I do want to, so Mizzou, yes, spanked whoever they played.
Murray
they're going to
State.
be the
Murray
team.
State. Lindenwood played Kansas yesterday, the Kansas Jayhawks in football, and they lost 3-48.
Hey, they got on the board, man.
I thought that was going to be a different.
I mean, all these things, now that I'm starting to understand.
Go Lions.
Yeah, now that I'm understanding, the first steps or two of college football, I mean, all of these teams play. It's so lopsided
Well,
for
these
the first 10 games.
The first week or two they play.
Just lopsided stuff, man. Now, I will say, wow, one of the most interesting things I've been watching I've been waiting for that Steve McNair Untold episodes to come out. Meanwhile, they dropped a movie called Sign Stealer, and Rizz and I have both seen it, talking about the Michigan State football, or I'm not Michigan State, Michigan football scandal with sign stealing. Not a great ending necessarily to the movie, but really, really fascinating story.
Very, very cool story.
And when it ended, granted, I was deliriously tired. When it ended, I told my wife, I said, I think I'm getting into college football. I think it's happening. My mother-in-law.
You said this last year.
I know, my mother-in-law is going to be so happy.
Yeah.
College football season, full slate of games Labor Day weekend. Here are some of the big matchups. On Saturday, number 14, Clemson takes on number 1, Georgia. Number 19, Miami battles Florida. Number 7, Notre Dame travels to number 20, Texas A&M. Before the NFL starts next week, we'll have a marquee Sunday matchup in college football with ranked 23 USC taking on ranked 13 LSU. And on Labor Day, college Monday Night Football concludes the weekend as Boston College visits number 10, Florida State. Big news for NASCAR fans, Worldwide Technology Raceway, just over the river there.
Just right down the road.
Set to host its first ever NASCAR Cup Series playoff race. In 2025, the Enjoy Illinois 300, traditionally held in June, will now take place Sunday, September 7th, 2025, marking the second race of the 10-event Cup Series
That's
playoffs.
huge. Congratulations, Curtis.
Is so
Congratulations,
freaking
Chris.
huge. Congratulations to all of them. We'll have more details up, and we'll do a little post, and I'm sure we'll be talking about that a lot the next year. I'm Moon, and that's your sports, because doing the bull dance, feeling the flow, working it.
Thank you.
Mid-America Chevy Dealers present Point Fest.
It's It's 105.7 The Point, everything alternative. We are backstage at Point Fest, and I have the absolute honor of being joined by Sean and Mike from Alice in Chains. Guys, how are you?
Wow, how do you live up to that?
Yeah, we better not suck tonight.
That'll ruin our sound. So.
Wow, man.
All right, so the first question that I have is one that I've wanted to ask you guys and a band of your ilk for quite some time.
Ilk.
I like his vocabulary. He's good at what he does.
Well, when you are a band...
You want to feel sweet, and you want to feel great all day, and you're not the man you once were in the bedroom. Maybe tadalafil is what you need. Even semaglutide, they offer that at Mentality. Unlock your peak performance with Mentality. Go to mentalityhealth.com. That's mentalityhealth.com.
Joined by Seether. Gentlemen, how are you? It's great to see you, and thank you for being here with us. The first thing I want to bring to your attention, and I'm sure that you guys don't keep track of this because you have way bigger things to do, but this is your 6th Point Fest, all right? Out of the 30 some odd that we've done, you've done 6 of them. Not to mention birthday shows, Christmas shows. While other rock bands have kind of gone by the wayside, you guys have just been a constant core artist for us. I was looking last night. We have played like 26 different Seether songs in the history of our career, and your career. Thanks, and our career as well. You have just been such an important part of the station as the alternative format goes left and we stay rocking. You guys have been a really big part of that. And I just, as the music director of the radio station, just wanted to say thank you. And I'm sorry, Sean, if you're getting eaten alive by something over there.
I'm making my acquaintance with the local wildlife.
You guys are celebrating 20 years this year. That's a really impressive feat. How, many bands that have been successful still don't make it 20 years. How have you guys been able to do that by your account?
I think we've just basically written stuff that we want to hear. I love a lot of bands. I love a lot of music styles, a lot of different types of music. But whenever we write albums, we just stay. I try to stay true to what we like. We like to write stuff that we like to play, and stuff that I like to listen to. So I think really just not adapting to a new flavor of the week kind of sound. There's a couple bands out there that tend to sort of go left and right as the tides move, and that just isn't sincere. I don't think. You know what I mean? I think you have to stay sincere and honest and true to yourself in that sense. And so musically, we just always write stuff that and you also don't want to rehash the same things.
Sure.
So it's great to experiment and try new things, and as long as you don't lose the essence of what the band really is and what the sound is. Yeah.
One of the things that I've wanted to ask you guys for a bit, and I noticed this as well when I was prepping to talk to you guys. You guys release a new record every 3, 4, 5 years. It's not like it's one of those record, out on the road for a year and a half, record again. It doesn't seem to be that kind of cycle. It seems to be spaced out, which says to me that you guys are given the opportunity to maybe take as long as you need when you are writing a record. Is that the case? Do you have the ability to, if it takes you 6 years before the next Seether record, not to say that it would, but would you have the time to do that?
I think contractually we have to deliver one within 18.
It's something you take for granted. Oh, my head's dry, it's raining out, it's storming out. Everything should be fine up there. But you don't know. You haven't been up there. You haven't done an inspection. Even if you were up there, you wouldn't know what to look for. So this is why you need to call the pros in at the Happy Roof Company just for an inspection. Every year or so, get the inspection done. They'll take photos up there. I'll give you an example of how that's beneficial. So the Happy Roof Company did an inspection on my roof. They took photos everywhere. They documented everything. They said, all right, everything is looking great up here. You got no problems. Good. Got that peace of mind. Over Memorial Day, over that weekend, we had a bad hailstorm. I had Happy Roof Co. come back the next week. They took pictures again and compared. Healthy roof, ooh, damaged roof from hail. This way, when we file the insurance claim, here's your proof. And they work great with insurance companies. If you need help with insurance paperwork, anything like that, call the Happy Roof Company. 314-665-3001. That's 314-665-3001. Local St. Louis company, not storm chasers. They're headquartered in Sunset Hills. It's the Happy Roof Company. 314-665-3001. Online at thehappyroof.com. It's the Happy Roof Company. They put the happy in happy endings.
it's Blue October at Point Fest.
Hello.
All right.
Sorry, I had to do that.
No, that's all right. You do whatever you need.
We're
The next 10
back.
minutes are all about you.
Hey, Jeff's wife. Just want to say hi, Jeff's wife. Hi, Jeff's daughter. I love y'all.
So, okay, first and foremost, we were talking to Will just a second ago.
To Will,
you were
my boy.
Introducing me to Will.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that has become so apparent to me over time in meeting bands and talking to bands is that word chemistry. And how absolutely, positively crucial that is. And you can probably even like someone personally, but maybe not have that same musical connection. And it's got to be all of that.
It's got to be all
statement
that.
ever.
Yeah, you vibe with somebody. You can vibe with anybody, you know what I'm saying? But when you get musically, like the other night, take for instance, we played a show last night. And just backstage after the show, I was listening to some cool Miles Davis jazz, right? Mm-hmm. And then I went to Bill Evans jazz, and he sat down with me, and for 30 minutes, we just started discussing how piano and jazz and the art of rock and roll make us feel. And just by talking to us at the end of the conversation, we were going, woo, woo, I love what we do.
Yeah.
You know, and then when we're on stage, you can play chords, and this guy will go off. It's a chemistry thing. It's a bonding thing, but the true lesson for a new person in a band is whether you can live with them in the bus.
Right on. But you don't know that.
Some people don't shower, dog. Some people don't shower. Some people don't change their socks.
All right. Okay, but then what do you do when you like a guy that you're auditioning with or what have you, but then you start to do shows and you're like,
you sit down with them and say, we need to have a real big talk. I love you. And you would tell me if I have a booger on my nose, right? And he'd say, yeah. And I'd say, you got a big booger on your nose. And it's called, you need to take a shower.
And that's a legitimate conversation that you have had before.
Not with this guy.
No, well, right, because he's here.
Oh, yeah, not this guy. Now, he smells good. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the single here. I hope You're Happy is doing incredibly well nationally. We're having a great run with it. And I got to be very honest with you, and please don't be mad at me when I say this. The very first time that I heard that song, I thought, this is not at all what I would think Blue October to be. And when I came back to it the second and third time, I was like, ooh, this is another direction, and I like it a lot. And it just grows every time.
Exactly.
So is that, I mean, was it a purposeful, like, sort of right turn?
We all grew up on so many different styles of music. And like I said, we discussed jazz, opera, hip hop, urban rock as our foundation, and alternative rock as our foundation. So when we went into the studio this time, we wanted to write music like, remember when we were growing up and you'd watch a movie like Pretty in Pink or something like that, and Ducky was in love with that chick, or John Cusack held the radio up and played In Your Eye. We wanted to write an album like that, but with some balls behind it. So I Hope You're Happy was that song. So we just wanted to slap a little bit of groove on it and just play it outside of the box.
And what I find to be very fascinating, and we can, talk about as much or little of this as you want, but I mean, you are locked in to know how this record is doing. Like, because sometimes we get bands that'll be like, oh, we're at number 17 on the chart. That's awesome. We're up 50 spins, and they know what's going on. And then some bands are just like, oh, it's out there and it's happening, but you're locked in, man.
We watched the chart on it, like Paul.
Told somebody you're going to buy a house or you were thinking about refinancing. They go, oh my God, you know what the market is? It's terrible. You know what the interest rates are? Terrible. It's a stupid move. Well, Kevin Putney, who I talked to the other day, Here's some exciting news. The Federal Reserve is hinting at potential interest rate cuts for the first time in years. So this is going to be your opportunity to buy a home or refinance the house you're in. So lower your monthly payments, shorten your loan term. When I refinanced a couple years ago with Kevin, we took our 30-year loan down to a 15. Access your home's equity for renovations or major expenses. Secure your dream home with more affordable financing. Now, how can Kevin Putney help you out? He is going to track the rate changes to get you closed and get this thing going, lock you in at the perfect time. He will craft a mortgage tailored to your goals and your needs. Kevin Putney's the man. He's local. Give him a call. 314-862-0123. That's 314-862-0123. Online at 123mortgage.com. Kevin Putney, equalizing opportunity. All loans subject to underwriter approval. Restrictions apply. Call for details. Cross Country Mortgage LLC. NMLS 3029. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. 123mortgage.com. 314-862-0123.
We are backstage at Point Fest, and what a...
I forgot to ask you guys this earlier. How many hot dogs have you had this summer? How many hot dogs have you consumed this summer?
0.
0.
I have eaten 0, but I've probably grilled 40.
Grilled 40, eaten 0.
Lost count.
So many hot dogs this summer?
Yeah.
It's hot dog summer.
I housed like 12 or 13 at our EPC remote just a couple weeks ago.
So many hot dogs for Rafe.
Yeah.
Scott?
It's got to be 5 to 10 easily.
I don't think I've had any.
What have you been doing?
Welcome to my world.
I had a bratwurst or two.
Yeah, I've
That
had
doesn't
brats.
count. Right, that doesn't count?
Yeah, I've had like a vegan brat that definitely doesn't count.
Yeah, that
But no
definitely
hot
doesn't
dogs. Normally I do have one. But I've been on the nacho train, man. When I go to the ball yard,
The nacho train?
when I go to the ball yard or whenever I'm out and about and there's the wiener being delivered to my table, I go, absolutely not. I will take a plate full of nachos, please.
Yeah, I mean, it's the end of the summer. So, Labor Day is marking the end of the summer. So we need to figure out, the stats.
Get them in.
How many hot dogs have we had this summer? I've had none. So
Get those
maybe
dogs
I need
in.
to.
Is this something we need to start tracking, like for next summer?
Yeah, raise your numbers.
Yeah, I feel like the summer's been a waste.
Sad.
Right on.
All right, make sure you check out the clip of the day brought to you by Michael's Flooring and our blog, sponsored by Jack in the Box. For a limited time only, 3-piece waffle sticks with syrup dip cup for just $2.50. All right, Moon, what is today's podcast title?
Well, we went with the Scott Daniel Rizzuto bio, essentially, and it's Elitist Bean Soaker. Elitist Bean Soaker. Scott Daniel Rizzuto, Elitist Bean Soaker.
Hey, in 5 minutes and 20 seconds, tickets for Punk Rock Christmas go on sale.
You are darn right. December 7th at the pageant. Bigger and better than ever. All of your favorite Christmas songs punked up. It's going to be so much fun. This show has grown into a monster. And last year was, like I said, one of my most favorite shows I've ever played. It was truly special. And we're going to try to make it even more special this year. 2 shows, 8 p.m. and a 3 p.m. show. At 10 o'clock, in 5 minutes, there should be 4-packs available for the 3 p.m. show. A family 4-pack for the 3 p.m. show. Both shows are all ages, and it's truly an all-ages show. Everybody from 5 to 95 would enjoy this, so get your tickets while they last.
Less than 5 minutes now to get your Punk Rock Disney tickets. Punk Rock Christmas. What else? You good?
Soccer 101 podcast dropped yesterday. It's a big match coming up on Sunday. This is going to be a busy weekend, dude. We got a pool birthday party today. Newfound Glory is tonight. If you're over there and you see me, say hello. I'll be down at the pageant. And then, let's see, Sunday is the St. Louis City SC match in the afternoon. And then Zombie, Filter, Alice Cooper Ministry. Lern and I are both going to that show. You guys going?
No.
That's going to be great.
I'll see you there.
Okay.
Who are you going to see, Filter?
Yeah, my buddies are playing in Filter, so.
All right. Lern?
Come out tomorrow. Sky Music Lounge in Ballwind. $10 gets you in the door. It's 21 and up show. Lane Narrows is playing all of our classic rock covers from the late 1950s all the way into the 90s. So if you're like a fan of Zeppelin, Jefferson Airplane, Jimi Hendrix, Melissa Etheridge, we're going to be playing that for you. And we're also, if you dress in the era of rock and roll that you love the most, you could possibly win a prize pack from the band.
Whoa!
So just, get your bell sleeves out and your bell bottoms. They are welcome there. Follow me at Lern versus Radio for all the deets.
Rafe Williams.
Before you go to that, put your costume in the car.
Yeah.
And take off all your clothes.
Get naked.
And come to the 40 Acre Club. Not that far from Baldwin, honestly. 40 minutes maybe. Come to my show at 8. Free it up. Throw your costume on, go to her show at the Sky Lounge. Make a night of it, I say. You can go to the 40 Acre Club for details and look online on the Rizzuto Show socials and sign up to Skydive with me September 14th. We're going to do it. We're bucket listing together.
So fun.
I already got people hitting me up. I can't wait.
SkyDivingSTL.com for the details on that.
And one last thing. Congratulations to my partner, friend, Zach Jehoviak in Flyover Festival. We were talking about baby names, old baby names, and he and his wife, Courtney, just had a little boy, and they named him Gus.
Gus.
Oh,
Nice.
that's a cool name.
So welcome to the world, Gus.
How about our sales chick, Maggie?
Yeah, Maggie.
Yes.
She said her kid named him Hank, which is another badass.
Love that. I can't believe she wouldn't tell me that one.
The future is bright.
Another badass name.
Gus and Hank.
Hank.
Their future's looking bright.
Scott.
Yeah, you can follow me at King Scott Rules, and that's not as cool as Hank, but still pretty cool.
Yeah, still pretty cool.
Dude, Gus and Hank sound like two dudes that would be drinking at a VFW.
Yeah.
Oh, very soon.
And like
yeah.
World War
21
II
years.
hats with the little tinfoil things on top.
All right. We leave you with a selection from our Teamers Member of the Day brought to you by Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill from Murfreesboro, Illinois. Brooke Bridges is our team. And
Red
Brooke
Devils.
wants to hear this song, and here you go. Have a great weekend. Donnie's next. Lern goes to Keishi. We will see you on Tuesday.